if it can start going.
Jersey jab. Zadorov right. Zadorov for right. He just won. Sam Bennett. All the linesmen trying to contain those two as Bennett trying to fire right hands while the linesman has a hold of Zadorov. Zadorov is hearing it from the crowd at TD Garden. Oh, he is livid right now. Down the tunnel they both
go. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Something's Bruin Roundtable. This is our third edition of the Roundtable, and we're lucky enough right now to have pregame with Marcusi. Marcus, if you don't follow him on Twitter, on Instagram, you got to go follow. It's an amazing account, amazing graphics, stats, everything that you need. You can find it on his page. So without further ado, Marcus, what's up?
What's up? I think if you're saying my graphics are good, we got to talk about this beautiful hodgepodge of a setup. We got the wild card race above my head and all the games. Mike, you're an absolute beast for this one. Give me the visuals. Gotta give you some claps, some stick taps.
It was appreciate it. Good graphic too you put together today for the game. Because I don't know what you're gonna. Because Sully puts those together on Canva and he doesn't share with me beforehand, so I'm always just as surprised as everybody else when he puts them out. And I think today it was like what it was. Oh no, I think that was against the Panthers when it was like a battlefield or something and there was like dead people on the ground and it was like something about a war zone. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. But that just builds the anticipation for the graphic is just when you don't say anything and it's just like, whoa, like an artist at work. It's like in the dark. It's like, what are you working on? It's like, nope.
Yeah.
When it comes out. So
I can't share it. So the one that Mel's talking about, actually, I'll pull it up right now.
It was the one against Ottawa.
Yeah, this one, today's graphic. Yeah. So right there, that's the one that Mel's talking about. I don't even know really what gets into my head when I make these. Like, I want to tell a story with it, right? Like, I wanted to have it a little bit, a little more oomph to it. Like this one, where is it?
Yo,
yeah, this one right here. This was one of my favorite ones.
Oh, you got Sweeney like faded in the background.
In the back, yeah. Well, dude,
go
ahead, Marcus.
This is art right here. Wherever there's a museum in Boston, that we just need to start like hanging these up somewhere and just like have people flip through them or something. This is Hall of Fame type.
Sully's got his own little exhibit, some museum in Boston with all of the little stuff he's made on Canva.
we can go to like Museum of Fine Arts, have a little section there.
Yeah, that is awesome.
But I do want to money. They just have to follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only charge. But I do want to show, speaking of graphics, we can go through Marcus's account too right now. So he's covering everything. You've got posts like this, notable college free agent forwards. And I'm sure that if you're on Twitter or on Instagram and you follow the Bruins, you've seen Marcus's posts and you can see his handle right here. It's at @MarkCussy_Mass MA. So, right here, we got free agent forwards. Right here, we got NHL teams ranked by average age. And look at that. Look at where the Bruins are. Like, I honestly, after the deadline, I did not realize that they were that young. And I learned that from your graphics, Marcus.
I was going to say, I didn't realize either until I saw the same graphic floating around too. And I just put the Bruins game on it for like half a second. I heard whoever was talking say that the Bruins have the second youngest team in the NHL. And I was like, I know that because of the graphic that I saw floating around on Twitter. I don't know if they were referencing your graphic directly, but they just said on Nesson that the Bruins now have the second youngest team in the NHL.
That's crazy. Well, normally what a lot of these come from is it's shout out to like any sort of statistical database, because yes, a lot of it is just like research, but when it comes to just like looking at the different ways the Bruins sort of stand out in a stat, I find that very interesting. Like, man, growing up with like NBC, ESPN, you look at like all these fun little stats. Everyone's like ESPN stat. I'm like, yeah, I live for that. I live for that. Give me that. And I just love like showing it off, because there's nothing I love more than talking about the bees. So being able to kind of like put that on something, make it visually awesome, and then show it off to the world is even better.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of people learning different statistics, and like we had just mentioned, like the youngest team thing. I mean, I learned that from you, dude. I learned that from you, and I'm sure a lot of other people did too. So it's if you're a Bruins fan and you're watching this right now, like Marcus is a must follow. You got to go follow him. You grind, you put things out all the time, and it's unique too. It's not like you're copying other people. It's not like, you're taking a certain person's style and making it your own. You're doing your own thing, and it's awesome, and that's why I love it. But talking about the Bruins, though, what are you thinking? Did that game against Florida? First of all, the game against Tampa, the 4-0 shutout was sick, and then Florida comes into town after stealing your captain, and you beat them handedly, emotionally too. What did you think about that game?
To be honest, I was kind of like sitting on the couch watching that one. I'm just like, all right, this one's gonna go well. Make it a tribute video for Marchand. I'm like checking my phone if they did it. I'm like, they're not doing it. And the game's kind of a drag. Not gonna lie, for the first 2 periods. They're holding on well. The team is playing definitely a lot faster and with a little more like activeness, if you will. And then Pastrnak scores. I was like talking. I'm like, so is the only way we're going to score with David Pastrnak or finding him on the power play? And then Pastrnak scores, Laurai scores, Zacha scores, and I'm sweating in my PJs like, yeah! And then Zadorov did what he did, and I was like, he just stole the hearts of the entire city doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, the aura from this game, that was like the best. Obviously, that was number one in terms of like the best Bruins games this year. Because fellas, in terms of what we've had in the past couple of years, this year has been a drag, and that was such a good game.
Yeah, Mel, did you want to jump in? I thought you were about to say something.
I was gonna say the game against Florida, I had a men's league game that night. We lost 3-0, so it was a tough night. But before I left, I watched the first period of the Bruins game, and the Panthers scored like a couple minutes into the game or whatever. And I went to the game. I was in the locker room, and I'm thinking like, oh shit, like this fucking sucks. Like the Bruins are gonna get smoked tonight. They're playing the Florida Panthers. Nothing's going right their way. And even like leading up to the game, all we had to see on Twitter was like Brad Marchand now skating, taking first line reps in TD Garden in Florida Panthers gear. And it was like, wow, like this is like, I want to die. Like this is the worst experience ever. Like it like I was you start to get used to it, like Brad Marchand not being on the Bruins anymore, and then getting more used to him being in Florida. And then you watch that press conference he had when he was getting asked questions about Boston, and he gave like I don't remember what the question was exactly. I think it was like, what message you want to give Bruins fans? And he gave like a 5-minute answer, and he choked up like 7 or 8 times. So you had that plus the optics of him wearing a Florida Panthers jersey, skating that morning, heading into this game, and then Florida scores right off the bat, and it was like, oh my God, like we're dealing with this shit again. I go to my men's league game, we get fucking smoked. I get off the ice, and I'm like, here we go, heartbreak round 2. Let's see what the final score of the Bruins was, and it was 3-2. They won. So I went home and I watched the last, I think 8 minutes of the game when the Bruins were going crazy in the third period, and it was awesome. Like it felt. Because like Marcus said, like this whole season has like sucked so much ass. Like it's like you're never gonna be embarrassed to be a Bruins fan, but like there's times you go on Twitter and it's like a bit of a minefield because like you don't really want to. Like it sucks. Like everybody's having fun, and like we got to watch this team go up and down all year, and all of our favorite players are getting traded, and the product on the ice is hot garbage. So it felt good to like have that win come from behind against Florida, the team that's dominated you physically on the ice and now emotionally taking your captain. And to win the way that they did. I think I was in Liv's live stream last night, and they were talking about Zadorov, And Peak as well for like they had like a 3.5
Yeah.
minute shift to end the third period. Peak is like grabbing Reinhardt by the throat and throwing him into the glass.
That was sick. That was sick.
It felt like a Bruins team that we haven't seen all year. And like, I guess like at this point, like they're playing with house money. Like they got nothing to lose. Like, frankly, like nobody really believes in this team right now. And not a lot of people think they're going to get into the playoffs, let alone do anything when they get there. So like, what the hell? And they're going to go out and they're going to beat Tampa 4-0. And then they're going to rally from behind and beat the Florida Panthers 3-2. Sam Bennett's going to do his shit. Doesn't matter. Did you see him try to grab on Pasta's jersey when he was getting the shit beat out of him by Zadorov?
Dude, not only that. Yeah, but like not only
Still,
that.
you should make a graphic of that whole scene.
when Zadorov's cocked back and he's just
yeah, and when Bennett's like holding on to Pasta, like, come help me.
yeah, I know, but not only that, dude. But did you see what Bennett did to Zadorov like to start that whole thing?
Yeah, he did his usual.
He did the
Sam
same
Bennett
thing
shit.
that he did to Marchand. He went for the cross check and he just punched him in the jaw. The only thing is Zadorov is not the guy you want to do that to, and you saw why.
His reaction was so funny too. Sorry to interrupt you, Nick, but like when I just saw him like realize he just got tapped, I was like, oh no.
Well, especially like for Sam Bennett too, like the last couple years in the playoffs, he's basically been able to do what he wanted against the Bruins, and like there was no repercussions. Like nobody did anything. Like he knocked out your captain, and like nobody really did anything last year, and even the year before that.
But that's why you grabbed a guy like Zadorov. And yes, he had like a slow start to the year. Everybody did. But at the same time, when you look at his player prototype, that is exactly the kind of guy that we grabbed for this time of year, because he is the guy that's going to step up and be big bad, like, don't touch my friends. And that's what we were sort of building the team around, the fact that if we were to hypothetically meet Florida again, something like that's going to happen, we're retaliating. And I loved even seeing some of the new guys getting into scrums in that game. I was like, yeah, go get them. Like,
dude.
And that's why I think it was so great to see Zadorov do what he did, because like you could tell, like you were saying, Marcus, like I don't think Bennett was like expecting anything to come out of that. Like he's been punching guys all year. He's been punching Bruins players the last couple years. Every single meetup, he's doing something, and nobody ever does anything. And he picked the wrong time, and especially the wrong guy. He gave Zadorov a little chop in the face, and you could see like Zadorov threw his gloves out, and he was like, "Oh shit, we're going!" Like, and that's when he's like grabbing Pasta and everything. I don't know if he was trying to go with Lori or trying to fight with somebody else instead, but he got Zadorov. And it made for a pretty good moment. Add that on top of the comeback win for the Bruins, and it was a chef's kiss way to end the night.
So I was thinking today, right? So obviously you look above Marcus here, and the Bruins are 2 points out of that last wild card spot. Columbus is playing tonight. They got Vegas. Obviously Montreal lost in a shootout last night. That's huge for Boston. Rangers, same thing. They're 2 points out. They play tonight. They play Minnesota. My rule coming into honestly, after the Tampa game, I said if they can beat Florida and Ottawa, then all right, I'm in. I'm all in. Like I'm bought in. I'm going for it's playoffs or bust. And you beat Florida. Now you have Ottawa. You have a chance to truly put yourself back into this conversation of being in the playoffs. How? I don't have a single clue how they're even in this position right now, but they are. So I don't know. I've been having this conversation with people on Twitter about whether it's better to make the playoffs this year and be an 8 seed, be a 7 seed, and potentially get bounced in the first round, or kind of root for losses and root for a high draft pick. At this point, after the Florida game, I don't care. I think I need to see this team in the playoffs. So that's where I stand. But I can see the other side of it too, saying, you do have a team that has a depleted system. There's not too many young prospects outside of guys like Lysell, Merkulov, but now you have Minton, you have Zellers, you have Werner. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think, I'll start with Marcus as well. Do you guys think it's better for this team to make the playoffs, or do you think it's better for this team to kind of continue to slide down the standings?
So you boys know how the team is. The fans are. We need winning hockey. The Jacobs family wants those 3 or 4 games at home to get sold out, and all the $250 jerseys to get sold in the pro shop. You know how they are. However, I held a vote, or I'm currently holding a vote. It's 60-40. The majority says pro playoffs right now.
Okay.
And it goes back to, I was going to mention this because I had a feeling you were going to bring this up, Mike, but I think the reason Sweeney kind of went out and grabbed those younger, further developed guys in Kushnadinov, in Minton, I don't know much about Wanner, but in grabbing those two guys, right? You're setting yourself up further than you would if you just grabbed a ton of draft picks, because there's a lot of skepticism in Sweeney's drafting. Now, yes, it would be amazing to fall and have a higher draft pick and, hypothesize which players you would want to select at that point. However, I look at this draft and I see it as a bit of a deeper one where the Bruins could take luxury in like, I wouldn't mind if they had a maybe later pick. Maybe they don't get the exact guy that they want, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of solid high floor guys, especially in the first round, that they could take a look at and say like, yeah, this guy could fit for us. And to be honest, house money, who cares? Let's make the playoffs, see how many games we win. Do I think we'll do much damage? Not really, but this team is full of a bunch of guys fighting for roster spots. So if they're going to fight for roster spots, they're going to fight for the crest, just like Zadorov said. So
hell yeah. I love that answer. What about you, Mel?
First of all, I want to say the guy that got back from the Wild, the Russian guy, what's his name?
Kushnadinov.
The way that you just seamlessly, that his name just rolled off your tongue when you were giving your reasoning there. I was very impressed by that.
I was practicing, trust me. I don't want to butcher names.
Every time, like, because he played, I don't remember, I think it was the game against Tampa. He was shot out of a cannon the whole first period. And I was tweeting about him. I saw when you tried to beat out that icing in the game against the Panthers the other day, he was flying. And every time I want to tweet about him, I have to go to the official Bruins trade announcement and copy and paste it because I can't spell the guy's name. But
yeah,
I mean, you're never going to root for the Bruins to lose. I'm never going to root for the Bruins to lose. And the last two games that I've seen from Boston, given it's only 2 games, but you can tell they're playing with house money. Pasta looks like Pasta's playing for the C on his sweater. Zadorov is playing like the player that you originally signed in the offseason. I mean, the Bruins team I'm seeing right now, I love. If they can keep up this level of play, just playing without a care in the world and just doing whatever the hell it takes to win a game, I want them to make the playoffs. Screw it. Let's make some noise. You can see what you can do in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do much, but still, they can be a tough out. I think this Bruins team right now, the way that they're playing against these last couple games, I wouldn't really want to be playing against the Bruins in the first round of the playoffs. A team that has nothing to lose is a scary ass team, especially if you have to play them in a 7-game series. So are the Bruins going to do it and make it to the playoffs? I don't know. I want them. I go into every game wanting them to win, but at the same time, if the wheels do start to fall off again and we do start to improve our draft position, I wouldn't hate it. I don't know. Again, I'm not rooting for them to lose. I want them to win every single game, but it's like you said, it's a bit of a loaded draft. This is the first time I've been looking at lottery picks in the NHL draft in my entire life, because the Bruins are never in this position, let alone have their own draft pick. But I don't know. I'm just enjoying it right now. The last 2 games, that game against Florida for me the other night, I'm good. I just wanted a game like that all year. That's what I've been waiting for as a Bruins fan, is with all the emotions going into that game to do what they were able to do against Florida without McAvoy. Lindholm is out for the year with the injuries and the new players they have, and everybody in Middlestad's playing incredible. What the hell? All of these new guys are coming in and fitting seamlessly. And I don't know how long they can carry this momentum. I think a lot of it is probably a lot of adrenaline going on right now. But hell, if they can, we're getting closer to the end of the season. If they can keep riding this momentum into the playoffs, you gotta go for it at that point.
Yeah. And so a couple of people here bring up a good point. Ethan 2.0, our guy, he said, no matter what, go for draft position. No Six says, never embrace a losing culture. Once losing becomes acceptable, you land in mediocrity. Geek Squad comes in and he says, or she says, St. Louis 2019 ? And what No Six said, I'm going to leave that up on the screen really quick. Never embrace a losing culture. You brought in, think about the guys you lost. You lost Carlo, Frederick, Brazeau, Marchand, who am I forgetting? Coyle, thank you. It's a bad one to forget. But you lose those guys, those core guys, and you bring in a guy like Middlestat. You bring in a guy like Hustadinov. Obviously, Minton is in Providence right now, but you don't want these new guys to come in, especially Middlestat at 26. I mean, he's been bouncing around for a little bit now. Buffalo, Colorado. Let's just like Zaka, let's get him a home and let's teach him about Bruins culture. And what Bruins culture is playing till the final whistle. Very cliche, but going hard to the net, playing gritty, playing grimy, and getting wins. And if these new players come into the system and it's kind of, you come into the team and it's already kind of, you're waving the white flag, it's over, it's done, the locker room is dreadful to be in, then that's probably going to carry on with those guys into next year. So if you can come in and you have a guy like Pasta and Zadorov just leading the charge right now, especially after last game, then you're in this new system now and you're riding with that wave and you want that wave to go on for as long as possible. At least in my mind, that's what I think. And I wanted to say that and not kind of gloss over Nosik's comment over there. So thank you, Nosik.
Can I, before you get to
Mel,
this comment, can I ask you a question though? If say the Bruins do squeak in as an 8 seed and they play Florida or Washington,
they're beating Florida.
And they play Florida or Washington and say they lose in like 5 or 6 games, would you regret going full? Like, are you just having the mindset you're having right now because of the last 2 games the Bruins have played? Because these last 2 games, they look like a team they haven't looked like all year. And that's when I acknowledge the adrenaline rush and like the recency bias. And like this team is like these are like the best 2 games I've seen them play all year. And given like this is not the team I thought that would be playing as well as they are right now in the Bruins, but like I don't know, like there's still time left in the season, and like what's the point of like pushing it and going into the playoffs and going balls to the wall? I mean, I don't know if I'm framing it right. Not in terms of giving up on the season, but I mean like if you could today, miss the playoffs and get a top 10 pick or get bounced in 5 in the first round, like what would you rather have?
I think I would rather make the playoffs because if they really want to go and jump up in the draft, number one, you have your first round pick. So you have that asset that you can use. But also, I think, what is it? You have 4 picks in the top and 4 picks in the first 2 rounds of the draft, I think. So if you really want to trade up, 3?
I think 3.
Okay. So 3 in the top 4, 3 in the top 2 rounds. Numbers are not my strong suit. You can trade up. If they want to really get up there, they can trade up. That's what I think. And you might lose a 2nd round pick or 2 second-round picks. And I'm okay with that. I want playoff hockey. I know the situation, but you have Minton and all these guys that you just got. Like, I don't know. I want this team to make a run.
I think I tweeted the other day too, that game against Florida, and again, forgive me because I only watched the last 8 minutes, so I don't know what happened in the first 2 periods, but it almost felt like playoff hockey, like the intensity, like Judd Surratt, the mic was so close to his mouth, and he was screaming so loud, like my TV was coming in all fuzzy, and like the pop of the Garden and every single goal, and like finishing checks and pucks in deep, and just the way that they were playing was like reminiscent. It felt like a playoff game, like they were playing for something. And like, this is what like Sully and I have talked about before is like in the past, like when they're getting like physically dominated, like when it's Sam Bennett doing his shit, or your defensemen are getting knocked down in the corner, or they're snowing, slamming, or hanging around after the whistle, nobody's doing anything. It's almost like you're accepting defeat. And that's why like the other day, like seeing Zadorov do what he did, like I know it's like we're a couple games post trade deadline and the Bruins aren't, I mean, now they're in the wild card race. We're getting exciting here, but like I don't know, like it felt like it meant something. And for like the previous 60 whatever games of this season, like it's just, you've been watching like dog water. So like, I don't know, like it felt good to see that. And it got me excited to think about, holy shit, like it would be fun to see this team come in the playoffs. I just don't know what kind of success we would have if we were to face off against Washington or Florida in a 7-game series.
I see the success perspective of like, the mindset where it's like, all right, you make playoffs, you're riding a high into next season. I respect that perspective. At the same time, I don't think it's entirely end of the world if it's like, you're fighting because we all know what they're going to say in the media. We know what they're going to say regardless. And we know Pasta 40 points above Zaka. He's riding this to the playoffs. They want to make it regardless. So I think that them just kind of having that goal and, trying to fight to stay above water, I feel like even if they miss the playoffs, the fact that they're not just completely dropping out, because let's be honest, what they did at the deadline was almost borderline like rebuild. The second I saw Marchand get dealt, I was like, what happened here? But aside from that, let's put it this way. The team's still dogging it, right? Like they're still digging. They're still in the trenches, just like any other team in the Eastern Conference. Like I look at a team like Pittsburgh and Buffalo, they're not really fighting for it as much as like we are, because look at the standings. Like we're not that far. So you could miss it, but at least you tried. And I think that's still enough, if you will, of like a mindset in terms of like setting the mindset where it's like, yeah, we're still trying to win, but it's like you tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, like they're not just mailing it in, like they're still playing for something. Even if you miss the playoffs, the last 20 games for this team is still a learning experience because they're still going in fighting every single game because they do have a chance of making the playoffs.
And each player we had previously, I'll put it this way, with what we had before, you look at the guys we dealt away, they're not just UFA. Some of them are like Brazeau, Marchand, and Frederick, but you also dealt away guys with term that brought in higher value, i.e. Carlo and Coyle. Those are considered outer core guys that are supposed to be like, the locker room guys that set the tone. You deal those guys away, and yet you're still playing like this. It really is interesting to me the way like the team has played these last two games, because now the roster turnover is, I say it again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, younger guys who are fighting for a spot. It almost feels like a sort of a college hockey team, if you will. Just guys that are, playing all four lines, trying to score, trying to make a name for themselves, but at the same time, overall, just playing for the team, if you will.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Before the game starts and we bring in Davis, we kind of glanced over it, and I know it's tough. What's your stance on the Marchand trade, and do you think he comes back next year? If you had to guess, obviously no one knows, and I know it's a tough question.
My stance on it is it still rocks me to my core, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna miss the guy, but I think that given the direction of the team, I look at the positive of you're giving Marchand a chance to like, fight for a Stanley Cup. And I also think it was great that you at least kept him in the East. You at least kept him in the East per his request. Yeah, of course, it had to be to Florida. But aside from that, it's like at least he gets another chance to win a Stanley Cup rather than having to, dog it out with us and figure that out. Would I like for him to come back? Yeah, absolutely. The guy's a riot. I have so much fun watching the games. My mom literally goes to me. She's like, I'm not watching anymore. I was like, why? She's like, the only reason I watched is because of Marchand.
No.
I'm like, you know what? 5,000 season ticket holders are probably saying the same thing as you. So makes sense.
Dude, same as Sam Adams too. Did you see that ad they just put out with Marchand?
I know.
Great timing, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh,
dude, I don't know if that's good for business or bad for business, because I feel like now that he's gone, I mean, it might be flying off the shelves. People are trying to stock up. You're never going to see an item, because I just saw somebody else also just released Brad Marchand coffee. That's like at Market Basket, I think. So it's like the poor guy was going on like a marketing tour at the trade deadline.
Brad Marchand.
Let me see if I can find that one.
Yeah. I saw it on Twitter.
Slide me that link.
I'm gonna
immediately.
I'm a coffee hound too.
Oh, here it is.
I already got this. I need to add to the
that's sick.
Oh yeah, it's called Brad's Brew, and it's at Market Basket stores. He just launched it in the middle of February.
Oh, I need that. I need that so bad.
The timing is terrible. It's crazy.
No, it's
probably
perfect
laced
if you're
with pure
a PR
caffeine.
person.
Actually, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, see right here, Market Basket.
So much media attention.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I might go to Market Basket tomorrow and try to grab myself a bag.
Yeah,
What
see,
kind
like
of-
it's actually might be genius. Is Don Sweeney a part of like this coffee company? Did he know it? Does he know what he's doing? Is this insider
Dude,
trading?
like people stock up on that stuff. I remember when Quinnipiac, I don't know if you heard, when Quinnipiac won the national championship, the local brewery in town had like Quinnipiac branded beer cans, and I bought a 6-pack, and to this day I still have one unopened one because I can't do it. I got to save the cans. So like I'm sure people will do the same thing. If you have beer bottles with Brad Marchand on them, like people are gonna stock up on those just to have them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the game is about to start. Marcus, I wish we could keep you for longer, dude, but this definitely won't be the last time we'll ever have you because you are amazing. You're the best, dude. Keep up the great work. And plug your stuff.
Well, the username right there is usually how you can find me. I don't think anybody else really uses it except if it's like some foreign stuff from another country. But yeah, that's my plug. I've seen it before. It's kind of funny. It's like an Italian dude or something, but I am also Italian. So it's funny. But yeah, that's the plug right there. Marcusi, you want to find me anywhere? I'm probably doing it on the Bruins. Love Boston sports. But all in all, go Bees.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, dude. We'll be in contact and we'll definitely be doing something like this again. So thank you again, man.
Thanks
Appreciate
for coming on, man.
y'all, boys. Let's go Bees.
Hey, let's go, baby. All right, that was Marcusi. I thought I wasn't saying it right at first because I said Marcusi and then he said Marcusi. So I think but then I think he said Marcusi. So in my brain, I'm still a little bit confused. And now you can see his logo in the top right.
Oh yeah.
But without further ado, the first period is about to start. So that means we're bringing in our guy, Chris Davis from Drop the Mitts and Christopher Davis. What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, dude?
Sorry, I'm dressed like I'm going to fucking parent-teacher conferences in about.
I was gonna say this is actually.
Sorry
I
about
think
that.
this is
Yeah.
the best I've ever seen you dressed, dude.
Yeah,
You look good.
yeah.
You look
Did the hair and everything. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
Anytime.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking about this game? Is it as
It's a
big as
big
I'm
game.
making it out to be?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I think you're pretty spot on. The only thing I worry about is like I kind of think back to when Jim Montgomery was fired. The team went on a very similar run. They just look like a new team, right? They had a lot of energy, a lot of poise, as we say. They were buzzing. They looked like a playoff team. I hope this isn't the same thing. I hope this is different. But it did last a few games, and then they kind of went back to their normal form. So I guess we'll see. This is a big game tonight. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I honestly, because when I saw, like, Sully's been saying all week that this is a huge game, a big game, and in my head I'm like, why? Because you started a petition to bring Brady to Boston.
We're not
That's,
gonna-
I'm like, that's why that's why this is a big game. And then I texted him today because I saw the SB tweet. I didn't read the whole tweet. I just saw the notification on my phone, the biggest game of the year. And I texted Sully like, dude, why is this a big game? And I was gonna say, is it just because of your campaign to get Brady to Boston? And then I hadn't looked at the standings recently, and he explained to me how close they are in the standings and everything. I was like, oh my God, okay. It's other than Brady to Boston, this really is a big game.
Dude, that shit was a riot.
I know.
I was catching strays from his tweet.
I
All of a
know.
sudden, like I had tweeted something like an hour prior, not even saying Brady to Boston, and those scumbags were coming onto my post and shit on that. I'm like, what did I do?
Dude, I knew it too right when I did it. Or who was it? I put it up and then I think it was Lalim's Martian commented under it and he was like, dude, this is embarrassing. And I was like, oh, here we go. And it was just a shitstorm after that. I was like, let's go.
No, this is a huge game though. Like, that crowd's gonna be they're gonna be riled up, and Brady's gonna be Brady. So we'll see. I need to see a Zadorov Brady tilt. I have to.
Oh my God.
Man.
I have
Dude,
to.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I have to see it. I mean, I'm trying to think of the other tough guys they have in their lineup.
Nick Cousins.
You
Nick
said
Cousins
tough
and
guy.
Zadorov. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Tough guy, right. No, I need to see a Brady Zadorov tilt.
I don't know if they'll go.
I hate to say it, but that's why you pay a guy $5.5 million for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
grit like that.
And even too, I've been seeing so many reports talking about I mean, really all year, but especially post trade deadline, how good he's been in the locker room. I mean, this team just purged itself with some of their leaders. And I was just mentioning when Marcus was here that it looks like Poss is playing for the C. Like he's the last couple games, man, he's been doing everything from a leadership point, from a gameplay point. And you've been hearing similar things about Zadorov, and you're seeing it in the video that comes out before the game when it's Pasta and Zadorov are walking down the aisle and they're giving everybody fist bumps. So you love to see that. Another thing too I'm looking for is everybody's talking about the Brady to Boston game and whatnot, but Linus Ullmark too. I mean, he had 48 saves the other night, playing out of his mind. So it's always good watching him and Swayman face off and think about what we had in the years past. But no, I mean, it's a big game. I think after I texted Sully and after we've been talking about it, it's a big game for a multitude of reasons.
Dude. Listen, I've been on the train of, Haggins to Boston, whatever, miserable for Misa, whatever it may be. But I think people forget that we actually have some incredible pieces in place. We have a legit number one goaltender who had some unfortunate circumstances this offseason. I think he's going to come back next year a completely different tender. And then you have a legit number one for Pasta is one of the best in the league. Same with McAvoy. You're missing Lindholm. This team has legit pieces in place. You guys were kind of talking about where you're at as far as if you want to see playoff hockey, they are in that, I don't even know what I would prefer. I mentioned it before, where is this just one of those weird runs that they're on right now where all these new moves, everyone's fired up, they're trying to rally the boys. Is it one of those situations, or can this team legit play? Can they actually put a winning team on the ice? I don't know. This is going to be a great test, I think, tonight. And Sully absolutely was right. This is a must-win game at this point. They all are.
Well, I just put out on Twitter, every game from here on out is war. It's war. You need to go out there and you need to take 2 points. If you truly are going, playoffs or bust, every game from here on out is a playoff game. You need every single point that you can get because of how you played early in the season. You've pissed away a couple of wins. You've pissed away a couple of, easy 2 points, and now you have to make up for it. And this new squad that we have in here with Husadinov, with Middlestat, with Peak getting more playing time, with Zadorov kind of asserting himself more, you're trying to make up for those losses. And you're doing it with this new look squad. So they're on a mission right now. They're on a mission. Yeah. And it gets me fucking pumped up.
I don't remember who it was. I wish I did, but somebody, one of the Bruins reporters or whatnot, tweeted post trade deadline that for the Bruins to get 100 points, they have to go 18-0, and they're still on pace. There's still a chance we could see another 100-point season from Boston. But no, I was gonna ask too. Obviously, we're poking fun with the petition for Brady to Boston. Did you see his reaction after they traded Norris away? How open and honest he was in that presser he had at his locker.
Yeah, I did. I saw that, but I also saw the reaction of when I believe he won first star of the game. I think it was. I mean, I don't know if that was fake. I don't know if he went to the Juicy Smoulier School of Acting, if that was real or fake. But I mean, he seemed fired up. He really seemed fired up, and that's why it was one of those things. As far as hockey players go, you'll never see a hockey player force their way out of a situation like a basketball player does, or football, whatever.
So this is what we're talking about right now. And
is this real or fake?
It's real, but it's me and Mel off camera and off mic, we were talking before, and just his reaction, he seems so shocked. He's like, oh my God.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
He's got the Canadian accent.
Let's go.
Ready? Yeah.
How would you describe this comeback win?
I mean, it's all because of you guys. Just let's go. Here we go.
That's what it was.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's
Here
just
we go.
Let's go.
I love it though. I love it. It's he does seem happy there, and most of it's just a troll. A lot of that is a troll. But he seems hyped and happy to be here. Or I'm sorry, be in Ottawa. That might be a little Freudian slip there. He might be coming to Boston.
To be fair, though,
but
he is the captain, so he at least has to always act like he wants to be there. It's not like he
He
can stomp
does.
his feet and piss and moan. You
Yeah.
know?
right,
I
right.
think moving a guy like Brady, you mentioned the captain, it's going to be a little bit more complicated to move him than it was to move like Matthew Tkachuk. I think.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think it's going to be a lot more complicated. I honestly don't see it happening, at least within the next 3-4 years. I'd be shocked. I know.
I
Sorry,
think it
Sully.
depends on how. I think it depends on how they finish this year. But I honestly, like non-trolling, there's like a 95% chance he stays in Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They've got a good team, man. They're another team that has good pieces in place.
Yeah.
And obviously they're fighting with the Bruins. They're right there with them.
Davis, I think you can answer this question. But Caleb, he asks, why isn't Patra up in the NHL?
I mean, probably going to be an unpopular. No,
okay. Never mind.
like again, I think he needs more time in the AHL. I mean, I know that's going to be an unpopular. People want to see him in the show. Who are you taking out of the lineup for him right now? I know people are going to say Kepke, probably, but
Letary.
you want him playing center.
Yeah, right.
He's a natural center.
Exactly.
You don't want him thrown on the wing. Who are you taking out of the lineup?
I also think that didn't he have to go down before the trade deadline or right around there in order to be able to play for the Calder Cup?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that
but
too.
again, do you think they're seriously considering, like, I mean, with all due respect, do you think they seriously give a shit about a Calder? I don't know. Like, if the kid could play, he would be. If the kid could play, he'd be in the NHL right now. That's a fact.
Fair.
Like, they're not saying like, oh no, we're saving you for a Calder Cup run. I don't see it that way.
If that was true, they'd send Letary back down. He's like a point per game player down there.
That's true. That's a good point.
Send Pasta down. Send all of them down.
Reactivate McAvoy and send them right down.
They would lose. They wouldn't win the. They wouldn't win the Calder Cup.
Like I don't think any bad is gonna come from him going and getting more reps in the AHL. I think he still has a lot to learn. Thanks, Nosek. Appreciate it. I just don't. If he could play, he'd be in the lineup right now. That's a fact. They are literally in the midst of a playoff run. If he could play and had significant importance to this lineup, he'd be in the lineup. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, just being able to, like, you don't know if you're going to make playoffs here. And Providence is pretty much a sure thing. So, like, get him playoff experience at least down there. Like, this is 50-50. Who knows if Boston makes it? They're going to. But
they're still battling, though. They're right in the middle, dude. You guys said it yourself. Like, they're going to put the best lineup they can each and every night that they play. They just are. Like, they're still going to. They're not tanking, clearly. They just won 2 huge games.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to think, too. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Playing down in Providence, too, has to be quite the confidence booster. He looks chippy. He looks aggressive. I saw there was some scrum. He was right in the middle of the other night in Providence. I mean, I don't think anything bad comes out of it player-wise from him playing in Providence. Get a little more development, play in that top power play unit, log some heavy minutes down there. And, like, who's to say if it does come crunch time, if the Bruins do get, really close, if they got a couple games left and they're getting close to a playoff spot, I mean, maybe they do think he's an impact player. Maybe they do call him up then. But, I mean, the kid's, 20 years old? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess I shouldn't have said that they don't give a fuck about the Calder Cup run, which I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do to some extent. But what I'm saying is, if any of these kids could play, they'd be playing right now, tonight, at Canadian Tire Center. They're in the midst of a playoff run. It's their thought. They don't think they're ready. Oh, I'll tell you one thing though. I'm really happy to have Lauko back in the lineup.
I was gonna ask you that after I pull up these comments. Caleb says Marshy returned to Boston 4 times 12. No 6 said you know.
Yeah.
I tend to agree.
I think the max turn you go is 3. I think you want give him. Listen, I honestly didn't think that there was a chance in hell that he was going to come back after the season. But after hearing his comments, I feel a little bit more confident. A little bit.
What if you were to come back to Boston though? What do you think the contract would look like?
3 times 6.
You think he would accept that now when he wouldn't have accepted it
If he's smart, he would accept
last
that.
week?
Now he knows what life is like outside of Boston, so he's gonna.
I mean,
come
if
back
it,
with 3 times 1,
if it's money though, like I feel like he'd get more than that in the open market.
probably.
Boys,
He definitely
hot
would.
take here. 3 by 6. To me, that's still a massive overpay. You're
I'm
paying
right
based
with
on
you.
I
nostalgia.
agree.
You're paying based on nostalgia. Is what you
No,
are.
I agree. I agree with you. I still think it's a little bit of
He's
an
turning
overpay.
37 years old.
Oh, my
So you're
stream.
gonna pay him at what happened?
My Nessun 360 stream froze. We're still good. The Bruins. Fine.
I'm with you. I thought because when we were talking about it earlier in the week, I mean, we were throwing out like 3 mil, 4 mil, and then to hear that the Bruins offered the same contract that he had before, and Marchand wanted 7.5. Oof, a guy
a
like you said
softie.
with tinfoil hips, 37 years old. Oh no, I think I'm behind you.
Did they score?
Wow.
Right when my stream freezes.
Yeah, I think.
Oh wow,
softie.
you weren't kidding. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen how mad Buffalo fans have been about Dylan Cousins scoring and saying what he said about Buffalo? Those little subtle shots he was making.
Yeah, but I mean, Eichel did the same thing, dude. They
Everybody's
drive
doing the same thing.
They
Yeah,
drive their players out of town, dude. They do it to themselves.
the amount of
I
stars
hold-
around the league who have formerly played for the Buffalo Sabres or impact
Yeah.
players at the very least is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember Eichel's interview? He's like, I think that's the loudest I've ever heard it. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it was funny.
Wow.
And Dylan Cousins, he said something along the lines of like, like it's nice being in Ottawa because now we're playing for something, and their fans are like, "Oh fuck this guy! Was he wrong? Like,
Yeah, was he
damn,
lying?
like, yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't say, oh, he's the reason that Buffalo's playing as poorly as they. Yeah, sure, I'm sure
Yeah,
that's the
right.
reason.
Yeah,
I
it
like
hasn't
Dylan
been that way
Cousins.
for the past 20 years, right?
I would have loved, yeah, I would have loved that the Bruins could have snuck in there and made an offer for him, but I still think
A
it's
big
crazy that they traded
contract.
Norris, dude. Yeah, I know he's got a monster. I still think it's crazy that they traded Norris.
I do too, especially
I
with
like
the
the
whole
return though.
Cousins
Yeah.
is going to be sick. I think it was Limes Martian again. He compared the Cousins signing to when Ottawa signed Kyle Turris. What was that like?
Oh,
I don't even know how long ago it
wow.
was.
God.
Dude, he was
But
a demon in
He was
Hut.
he was
Yeah.
yeah, he was nuts.
Him and Yakupov were insane in like NHL 18 or whatever the hell.
Throwback to Yakupov.
Have we been
I
in
just-
our own zone for 5 minutes? I'm pretty sure.
We don't even
much.
have a shot on net yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like they're falling back down to earth.
No,
All right,
Finally.
so I
we'll-
changed
We'll be good.
Shane Pinto.
So are we tanking now? Are we back to tanking?
Crazy how fast that changes.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. I kind of did. Actually, I think I was texting you about it, Sully. I'm like, this has a real similar feel to when Monty got fired. Like, I know I said that earlier, but like, it just does. I feel like they're going to go on a little run here, and then all of a sudden we're going to be back to reality. But
I don't know.
I don't
know.
want to be a Debbie Downer, you know?
We mentioned it before, and I wanted to ask you about it. What's the difference with Lauko being in the lineup and not being in the lineup? Like, how big of an addition is he to you for this team?
I feel like he just plays with a sense of urgency, which I feel like we've been really missing this season. Just energy, passion, heart, just all of it. He is that. He embodies old time Bruins hockey, which we
Yeah.
have not seen this year. I mean, I know I saw so many posts, dude, where it's like, this is old time Bruins hockey with Zadorov fighting. I mean, Lauko embodies old time Bruins hockey. He does. He plays hard. He plays to the whistle. He lays his body on the line for the team. He's a grinder, dude. He does all the right things. And that's what this team has been missing this year. I saw a lot from Kostelik. I like him too. He's going to be a great piece for this team. He has been, I think, for what we pay him. But like,
Yeah.
to get Lauko back, we absolutely fleeced Minnesota. I would have straight up traded Brazo for Lauko, and I probably would have tossed something else in to get rid of that fucking guy.
Really?
Truthfully.
What's your beef with Braz? What's your beef with Braz?
I think he's slow. I just think he's overrated. I think Lauko embodies what this team needed. They needed to get faster, and he embodies Boston Bruins hockey. He does.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
I'm with you. I
Marcus-
think it's pretty telling too that Minnesota played him 4 minutes the other night and then benched him for like the entire second or third period.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So this is actually from Marcus. Marcus put this out on Twitter. Again, Mark Hussey, _Mass. He said the Boston Bruins have a 59-18-8 record with Jacob Lauko all time. 741 winning percentage. Is Jacob Lauko the key? Is he the key?
Doesn't he have like
Hey.
the highest winning percentage in NHL history or something?
Yeah, I think he does.
Sully.
It's something wild. Yeah.
Sully, pull up Nosik's
Gretzky.
comment because it's a great point. Again, for a guy as big as Brazo, he does. He loses so many one-on-one battles. He doesn't for a guy that's supposed to be a power forward, he just doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't move the needle for me. I think he's so fucking overrated, and he should go back to the East Coast League where he belongs, in my opinion.
Damn, Davis.
What, dude? I've seen enough.
Do you hit this? Is that the
I've seen
nuclear
enough.
alarm horn? Is that the
No,
nuclear
it's the
alarm horn?
Bruins goal song.
Oh no, that's not what I meant to play. Is this the nuclear alarm sound?
Yeah, listen,
I
East
don't
Coast
even
League
know.
might be pushing it, but he'll do okay
a
in
hot
the
take.
AHL.
I
He'll be
do
fine.
wish that he hit more. I do wish that he actually used his body more because he's a moose.
Dude, well,
He's a
even
moose.
I wish Marcus
Yeah.
was here to say his name, but even the Russian guy that they got in that deal too, who's the whatever.
Sudina.
Is that
he's been-
Brady?
Is it? No, that's
That's Eichel.
that's Eichel.
Oh, damn it.
Eichel
I
to
should-
Boston?
Yeah, I'll start a petition.
Yeah.
But he's been
Yeah.
a lot of fun to watch too. He's been firing all over the ice. Even just it's like they just have a couple guys who are just fun to watch, and I think
They got
that's
faster. I mean, they
did.
needed desperately to get faster, and they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Um,
They're showing the Zadorov ringing Bennett's bell.
Yeah. So right now, 13 and a half minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Ottawa. Bruins finally get their first shot on goal. Andrew Peak.
If that's what you want to call it, yeah.
Little fluffer. That's an
Yeah, little
ESHL
fluffer,
shot
yeah.
from the point. Nobody down there with big tipper.
No. No.
Yeah, Ottawa does have one more.
Yeah,
Oh, they
you
got
know,
two shots on goal.
I am excited that, they're going to bring I'm not, obviously I don't know, but I'm assuming they're going to bring Geeky back, and I really like Geeky. I think
Yeah.
they made the right call not trading him. I was one of those where it's his numbers are inflated that he's playing with Pasta, but the more I watch him, man, he really is a valuable player for this team. I mean, he plays all three zones. He plays the game the right way.
Mhm.
And I really think they made the right call not trading him.
Yeah, even
I do
too,
too.
just the fact he can slip in there and take some face-offs too, like he just did, is nice as well. But I wanted him. I mean, when they were selling everybody at the trade deadline, I wanted him included just because why the hell not? And I figured you would get a whole haul for Geeky. But I mean, think about it now. If it would, it would really just be.
Chat.
What are you doing later, BB?
It's in the ESHL. Ragno. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but Trey also said Henry Jokiharju has made Zadorov a serviceable defender. Did Jokiharju and Zadorov play together in Buffalo? Did they cross paths? Does anybody know? Because I don't expect you guys to know.
Just
But
get drafted by Buffalo.
he did, but he also played for a little bit there. Oh, Mel's on the case. Jamie, look that up.
Yeah,
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, man, in just watching Zadorov, it just seems like he's just fucking sick of people talking shit. And he's angry every shift, which is what we've been waiting for him to do. We've been waiting for this Nikita Zadorov all year. This is why you pay a guy $5.5 million for what he did last game. To sell it down the tunnel.
Literally. Yeah, I was just about to pull up Laura's comment. I'm looking at the stream right now. I must have missed it. I didn't see him go. I didn't see a play happen either where it looked like he got hurt. I'm trying to see right now. I don't see anything.
It's freaky, dude. You watch Husnudinov. He kind of looks like Marchand, dude. Like, I'm
The
not
way he
gonna say
plays?
he is. Like, I don't know. He goes fast and short bursts. But
Yeah, look at him right now, dude. Look at him with the puck. He's got
Yeah,
nasty
like-
edges too.
he's got elite edges.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. Elite edges. What's his superstar
Zadorov,
ability?
Zadorov and Yogi Harzhu did not play together, but
They
they
did not play
almost
together.
they almost crossed paths in Chicago.
Okay.
That was when they were.
Oh yeah, Zadorov was in Chicago.
Yeah, Zadorov last played
forgot
for
about that.
Buffalo. Zadorov last played for Buffalo in 2015, so there's no way he played with Yogi Harzhu.
Still in high school. Ethan says Zadorov has definitely come a long way from when he first started. I remember thinking he was a bum for letting Luch basically mug him,
Bro.
and he never reached. True, I forgot about that. Laura said Kostelik is back. Trey comes back and he says, anyone think Marshy was out of his mind asking for $7.5 million and
Yes.
Ottawa scores again?
Yep.
Yes.
Great play by Ian Mitchell, dude. Real grit in the corner there. Get that out,
Oh my God.
dude. Oh my god. Well,
Watherspoon
Lauko had a
behind, that was
chance.
tough.
Lauko had a chance to get it out too, but this is exactly what you did not want to happen.
Oh yeah, I just saw the replay. Ooh.
Rats.
It's not good.
It's like our
It's all right. Hey, Davis.
team.
Lot of hockey left.
Lot of hockey left. Listen,
Lot of hockey left.
they are looking flat though. I hate to say it, but Kostelik's back.
Ethan says jury is still out on Mitchell. I'm kind of eh.
No, I'm with
That
Ottawa
case
is
is
playing more
closed.
desperate.
That case is closed for me. Dude blows.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think you can upgrade. I don't think that's a stretch. Come on. Let's get something going here. You can't let Ottawa score the next goal.
You know who scored? Was it last night or 2 nights ago for Providence that I really want to see get a shot at some point? Frederick Brunet, dude.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your outlook on his game? Is he more offensive minded?
I think he's more two-way, but
Okay.
no, he definitely has that off. I mean, he's not afraid to jump in the play for sure. I watched him a couple times at Dev Camp. He definitely stood out to me. I don't know. We'll see. Like again, Boston really doesn't have a whole lot coming up to be excited about.
Mhm.
But I think at some point, like he'll be, he's going to get a shot here. Probably not this year, but I'd love to see him get at least a shot. I mean, he's better than Ian Mitchell, I think. But
Yeah.
I
He's
don't know
younger
if that
too,
makes-
isn't he?
Brunet, yeah, I want to say like 20. He might be 23, 24.
Yeah, I was thinking 22 or 23. I just don't know his
Ooh.
exact age.
Can we pull that up, Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie. Ethan says somebody get Camphor on the phone.
Yeah, dude. That's what I
He's
said.
21. He's 21.
21.
21. All right.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, Nosek says he won't be up for a while, probably another full season and a half. So that would be a
dude.
good question to ask Robert when he comes on, actually. He's
Yeah,
so
that's
tuned
what
in
I'm-
with Providence.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too. But yeah, we'll see.
I'm curious to hear what he says about Fraser Mitten now that he's down there.
Yeah.
It feels it's because like we've been hearing so much about the same group of prospects. I feel like the last couple of years, so to have some new juice in here,
Yeah.
like and then even Zellers too. What I've been seeing from him in the USHL, that guy looks like he's gonna be insane. I don't know his clips.
Yeah,
He had I don't remember if it was a shootout or a penalty shot or what, but he had this goal the other day and then turned around and just started barking at the goalie. I was like, "Fuck yes!"
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of shit I want to see my players
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He'll be at North Dakota next year, so I'm curious how his game kind of translates. But that North Dakota team is going to be fucking loaded.
Dude, they upgraded all their facilities too. They're like,
Yeah,
they're a fun team. They're a fun college hockey team.
They got that kid, that Sacha Boyve, the
Yep.
Chicago draft pick. He's fucking filthy.
Let me see. I'm trying to find
All
this one video
that
that I
to beat
saw.
Quinnipiac.
Oh, here it is. Hang on. Before I do that, shout out to Spoked Z for this this video clip. Let's see. I'll pull it up. Another great account on Bruin's Twitter. Let's see. At Spoked Z.
Oh yeah, he is.
Just look at these. Like, he's so
Yeah,
nasty.
that's goofy. Like, what the hell? That penalty shot? That's like the one Austin Matthews had the other day.
Look at this. Look at his shot, dude. His release is nasty.
Like that little Phil Kessel, the little pull in.
Oh, fellas.
Wait,
Let's
hang on.
go,
I'm behind.
Casey Middlestat.
Hang on, I'm behind. Ottawa just made it 1-0. Oh, Middlestat, nice. Dude, he's good, man. He's got a point.
Yep.
I think he's got a point in every game now so far.
Yep. Wow.
He might. He's getting pretty close to Freddie for most points this year, wearing number 11.
I
Dude,
was just gonna
he already
say.
passed him. He passed him last game.
It's funny you said that because I was literally gonna say I think he's done
he
more
didn't
than
even have
Coyle.
to step on the ice. He passed him.
Casey Middlestat, he was plus 450. He says dudes always score right after they get traded. Ethan says LFG. Ethan, diabolical Mel.
I was reading it. I was reading an article from The Athletic, I think, and they were interviewing like various GMs around the league post trade deadline, kind of asking them how trades came about. And he was talking to Colorado's GM, and like I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said that like we know that Middlestat is like the more skilled and talented player, but we just wanted Coyle for the playoffs. So it was interesting to think that the Bruins traded Coyle for Middlestat, and is that the deal they got Zellers in as well and a draft pick?
Yeah, and a first round pick.
Yeah, I mean, what a fucking haul! Holy
Was it
shit!
a first rounder, Sully?
I thought it was a
Um,
second rounder.
I think it was a second rounder.
I think they got the first rounder in the Carlo deal.
That's what it was.
But it's crazy, and he's a skilled player too. It's just
Dude.
every team should approach a trade deadline going, has this guy played for Buffalo before? If the answer is yes, trade for him.
It's so true, though. Maybe we'll get Zach Benson next year.
Yeah.
He needs a change of scenery.
He had a goal last night too. Zach Benson did.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he had a scrap too.
I tried to trade for
Did
him.
he?
Franchise. He's
Oh,
too
here
bad.
comes a fight.
Let's go. Let's go. Who's going?
Oh,
I bet
Pasta's
it's
hurt.
Pinto.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, what the hell is that? From that cross check? Oh, and a high stick, dude. What the? Who did
Oh,
Look
this?
at Zadorov getting right in there, dude. Yep.
Oh,
Hell
he's
yeah.
bleeding. He's bleeding.
Who? Pasta? Oh,
yeah. I think he took a high stick. Still though.
It's all right, dude. He's
Yeah,
young.
well,
He can get
Omar-
some dentures, dude.
It looks
People
like
are getting
Omar
dentures
went down
young
here
now.
ahead of me, but- Yeah.
Sanderson's good too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't mean to hit him in the mouth.
Oh yeah, you can see a little cut in his lip.
Oh, Mark, are you joking, dude? What was that? Watch this, dude.
Oh, he
Watch him
did.
flop. Watch the LeBron flop. Come on, man.
Oh, dude. What? Oh my! God, you were better than that.
Oh wow.
Oh, Ethan. Ethan said Green Bay is only 3 hours from me. I'm tempted to go see it myself. You should do that. Would be
Do it.
sick. Yep. Zen props. 4 minutes. Should be 4.
Looks like 4-on-4, 2 minutes.
4-on-4.
Did they call him
That's what
again
they're saying.
when he backed into Omar?
Come on, guys.
Couch is right.
Is that actually 4-on-4?
That's what they said.
I don't know. I can't hear anything.
Holy shit, we got 3 shots on goal.
Yeah, Pasta's in the box. Oh, I keep forgetting I'm like 4 minutes behind you.
Yeah, it's 4 on 4.
They
it
just
looks
wrapped
like.
up the anthem.
Yeah, 4 on 4, 2 minutes.
That's
That was
crazy.
a brutal flop, dude.
He should. I just said he should get a 4. He should get a penalty just for that. How is that?
They should trot
understand.
that. They should trot their new Russian dude from the Wild out here for 4s. Let him just skate around.
Usnadinov?
Yeah, dude, I'm not even trying to say his name.
Yeah, it's Husnadinov, right? Is it
Usnadinov. That's.
Hus.
I mean, I also wouldn't listen to my pronunciation. I kind of just make up words as I go.
No, me too.
That's how I take it. That's how I.
Benny Letary out on 4s. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh my.
Providence Bruins super.
Oh, ew. That was that Stutzla?
Hey, take it easy. I'm behind.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, yeah, it was.
Get out, fella.
That little dangle through the neutral zone.
There goes Zadorov. I keep wanting to call him Z, and I have to stop myself every single time. Oh, Casey Middlestat just dumped that guy. Who was that?
I think the Bruins put out a tweet the other day calling him
Yes.
Zaddy.
I don't
They
love
stole
that
that.
nickname if I'm being
No,
honest. With you.
I don't like it either. It's weird.
I don't like it. He needs a real nickname. It
Zaddy.
can't be Z.
Imagine
It can't be Z.
a big old Russian tough fucker that is being called Zaddy. I'd be like, no.
He probably sees that and he's like, I need something better. He's like, why did Chara have to play here? I'm Z, dude.
Weren't we calling him Sputnik in the offseason?
Even if
Yeah,
you just
we
call
were.
me smaller Z,
Like
I
Lil
take
Z.
that over Zaddy.
Lowercase Z, yeah.
Yeah. It's not Z, it's lowercase Z.
Cursive. Yeah.
Ragno has a good question too. I don't know if I'm gonna like
Ragno
it.
says, is Casey Middlestat a 50-plus point producer next year? I say
Yeah.
yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
in a Bruins sweater. He's like on like a 130 point pace or something in these 3 games. So
Well, 82, because he has 3 points in 3 games right now.
does he? I thought it was like 9.
Yeah, he scored.
Dude,
every
it
single goal so far.
feels like it.
He's so good. It's his speed. His speed is so quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have brought it up. Morgan
What?
Geeky has one of, if not, obviously I know Pasta has one of the best shots on this team. His shot, dude, and he shoots with purpose too. He doesn't
His
just fucking
release.
fire it off the. Yeah,
If the Bruins did opt to move him at the trade deadline, what kind of package you think is coming back for him?
At least a first. 100% at least a first.
for who?
Geeks.
For Morgan Geeky.
A first for sure.
At least
I think
one
you get
first.
I think you get a similar package that
Shit.
Dallas got for Granlund. Granted, I know Cody Ceci was involved in that as well. But I think for sure a first round pick.
What was Granlund's package?
It was Granlund and Ceci for a first, I believe. I'm not sure what else was involved in that. Nosek would probably know.
Yeah. Nosek, put in the chat. Chat. What was the return? Chat.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jimmy. All right. What are they calling something here?
Oh, he's another one, man, that's been really disappointing to me.
Beecher.
Yes.
He's had a tough end of the year, tough second half.
And we just
He got a box.
accepted
He got a
that
box, no penalty.
yeah, he's a fourth liner. We spent a fucking first round pick on this dude.
See, Granlund and CC got a first and a third.
Yeah, dude. Again, you take
Nosek said SP auto corrected. Ethan said sophomore.
that's a good comparison. Geeky and Peak. That's pretty similar to CC and Granlund, I'd say.
I would think Geeky has more value than Granlund, but I guess not if he's an RFA coming off a contract.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Granlund's under contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. When Ethan is saying this, that's when you know it's real. He said, I'd give him one more year, and if you can't do anything, then sorry, Beach.
Wow.
I respect the honesty, Ethan.
Oh,
I
Michigan man.
respect that. But again, we kind of did the same thing with Trent Frederick. Like, people forget we wasted a fucking first-round pick on this dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. At some point, you got to just kind of cut the cord there.
Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
What year was that draft? Was that a good draft that year?
20, dude, I don't know. 22, was it? 21?
2016.
Johnny. Oh my God, dude. He's been here that long. Oh, he is 23. Good lordy, dude. 30th overall. 30th overall, dude.
Wait, who? Beecher?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember when he was drafted, they were hyping him up. Oh, this guy has shades of Patrice Bergeron.
He's never gotten more than 10 points, dude.
Yeah. The only similarity that him and Bergeron have is they can win a face-off pretty well.
Zin props could not be more correct. When it comes to young guys, if anyone has not earned their spot, it's John Beecher. I couldn't agree more. I think they're only, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Nosek, I'll be honest, I don't think he gets his qualifying offer, nor do I think he should.
Truly think a shoulder injury dampened his playing ability. I don't know. I mean, realistically, what was his peak?
He's never eclipsed 10 points, dude, ever. So, I don't know. I mean, if your intention was to draft a bottom 6 guy, you're not drafting that at 30 overall.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like there's plenty of other guys you can get to do that same job.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I don't.
My God. Bro.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no. Oh, I thought Peak was hurt.
No, worse.
He's dead.
Terrible.
Worse.
Terrible, dude. What the?
Do you pull Sway? If they score again, do you pull Sway? I think you have to.
Oh, what the hell was he even doing?
What is he doing? Dude, what? Did anyone just see Swayman?
Can him and Omar swap nets?
What is he doing?
He was sitting on his fanny.
He's sitting on something else.
What the hell, dude?
Sorry,
Boston has one more shot than Ottawa has goals. Jesus. It looked like he gave up. Like he saw the guy up, pucks over there.
He didn't even move.
Or maybe he was going for the ESPN play. It looks like he stuck his stick out. I used to do that.
He just forgot to try.
Yeah.
He looks like Sully in net in fucking EASHL.
I checked my goals. I checked my goals against average.
Oh, he's got to get pulled. Pull him.
No way. No way.
Him. Yep. Pull him. I think Sacco's pulling him.
No way they scored again.
They scored.
Yes, they did.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Pull him. You have to pull him. What happened to it? What is he doing? What is he doing? Is he hurt? He didn't even try.
I think he has a non-refundable vacation booked and paid for at the end of April. Dude, he wants to make sure that he goes on it.
Did you see that? He didn't even clear the puck.
He didn't clear the puck, and then he's just sitting at the top of the crease, dude. Like what? Also, who's that defenseman right there? And why didn't you clear that puck? Yokoharu, dude, you gotta.
Did Sacco pull him or no?
Nope.
G3? No. Who's G3?
Are you kidding me?
What the hell does that mean?
Goalie 3? Oh no, G3. It looks like he pulled something. Is that like a? I have no clue. No, it's like what that.
I don't know
means.
what the hell that means.
I don't know what that is. Zen props held us hostage in the offseason to do this.
Okay, if he pulled something, why is he still in the game?
With Rascal bench.
No effort. You think he comes out for the second? I hope not.
Give Korpisalo his revenge moment.
Yeah. Corpy probably, it's easy to say this now, but I was wondering if Korpisalo would get the start. I guess so. If you're the number one goalie of the team, this is a game that you start. Shouldn't even be a question mark. But
We're not playing 50-50 anymore, dude.
nope.
You wanted to get paid like a number one goalie.
Funny. The other number one's on the other side of him right now too. Just getting outplayed.
Yeah, but
I mean, Allmark, honestly, 1 goal on 4 shots. Also,
I was gonna say they have like fairly similar. I think Swayman might still have a better save percentage this game.
Or do they are dude? Are they gonna give us another penalty? Lauko is already.
delay
Lauko is
a
pissed.
game.
It might be. This is
Yep.
This is
I don't know what message that would be.
Is that actually we got a penalty? Yeah, we got a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Lauko's pissed.
I don't know. I mean,
Can
it's
they
hard to
challenge
tell
that?
from that angle.
Can they challenge delay games?
Yeah,
Also, hang on, let's see.
Sacco forgot he can challenge plays.
Oh, it's over the bench. Actually, it's over the bench. It shouldn't matter. That's not a penalty. If it goes over the bench, it's not a penalty. Right?
Someone tell Sacco. I don't know. Sacco's just like, that's fine, dude. I'm just gonna enjoy my time here.
No,
He's like, please don't
I
make
think
plays.
that's still a penalty, isn't it? I think he was trying to say that it hit the boards.
I don't think it did. It went clean out.
Yeah, I think that looked like a good call. I think Lauko's just a little embarrassed.
Zadorov, dude.
Oh my god!
What do you do? Actually, I'm about to see it.
You know the
Not
Bruins should
getting
just
the puck out.
lay the net down and play posts.
This is.
Is that
this is-
wait? Who the fuck is Is that his name? What's his name? That's how
Judson.
irrelevant he is. What's his
Who?
name?
The fuck is Joe Sacco?
Oh, they had the coach.
Vince got me second guessing who their coach is now. Monty? I don't
Man.
know. They're getting worked right now.
Josh 617 says Korpisalo should have started tonight. Geek Squad, he's not number one right now. Nosik said leave him out there to send a message to him. No, it's way too late for that.
I don't know what
Ethan-
message you'd be sending though.
Ethan said sit Sway the rest of the season, bring up DiPietro. Nosik said don't think you can challenge a game, just whether or not it hit the netting. Clearly didn't hear. Ethan said bring me Talkit. Zen Prop said we have a head coach.
I love Talkit.
Mel's on the Talkit train.
Yeah,
I also feel bad for him that he has to. It's funny he's already having. Yeah, he's already dealing with that fucking crybaby.
Whoa, who the hell was it? Oh, I'm way behind you guys. Somebody in Ottawa just fell on his fucking cartoon, fall on his feet when flying in the air.
They killed it.
Man.
Here's the question, though, boys. Before we go, does Swayman come out for the second?
I kind of hope he doesn't. I want to see Corpy.
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah,
I
give me
mean,
Corpy.
He probably will though. I don't see Sacco pulling him. Unless Ottawa scores here before the end of the first. That'd be such a baller move if Ottawa scored with like 4 seconds left in the period and you pull them.
this is what I was talking about. They look like the same old fucking Bruins team that we've seen all year. Flat.
But at least
passion,
now,
no effort, nothing. Like, I don't know. Is this not what we've been seeing all year?
it definitely is. It's frustrating. I was gonna
Yes.
say, at least now you could say that the roster just isn't good. But to your point too, you also added there's just no passion. You're just not seeing it. I mean, like Sully said, that Yoki Harju, that lazy ass play trying to get the puck out of the zone contributes directly to a goal. These games mean something. Look at the wild card race in the middle of your screen. Like these are, especially too, like Sully was saying, even like the extra stipulations. Like I don't know if people were still, I don't know if they were still booing the anthem or whatnot. But you got Omark and Swayman. You got all the. Oh, everybody wants Kachuk the boss. I don't know, if the players know anything about it, but as fans, we certainly want him here. But still, everything else that's going on, this is a game that's you shouldn't be losing 4-1 at the end of the first, and you shouldn't be playing like the game doesn't matter either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what it is anymore. You have to win these games. Like I said before, like every game is a must win. If this is how Swayman started the first period, the message you want to send him now isn't to keep him out there and get lit up. The message is now, you're done today. You stink. You're not doing good. Corpusalo, get in net and save us. And maybe we can get a little spark to start the second period. I don't want to see Sway. I don't want to see Sway. Get out. Get out. Dude.
I don't.
Get out.
Was it one of you guys talking about like you don't want to embrace a losing culture?
Yes,
Dude,
that was
no Nosick commented.
Like
I
keeping
said that too,
Swayman in is literally doing that. Like,
right.
yeah, you want to create a winning culture. Swayman had he's got to come out, dude. He showed zero effort. He played like fucking garbage. Take him out. Hold him accountable.
Yeah, that was
You
bad.
played
That
like shit.
backdoor
It's not
goal.
your net. It's everyone's net right now, as the great Herb Brooks would say.
I knew you were going to pull out a miracle quote at some point tonight. There's one. We should have a live counter for miracle quotes that Davis just dropped.
If Sway plays a second, I'm done with Sacco. Yeah, I mean the no effort
Geek
thing.
Squad.
I'm already done with Sacco.
Yeah, Geek Squad hot take. I've been done with Sacco since he walked in that building. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm so over this fucking recycling of Providence coaches. I'm just so over it. I'm so over it.
Just wait until you get the notification in the offseason the Bruins hired. Chris Kelly announced his next head coach of the Boston Bruins.
And again, it has worked out.
Would you be surprised?
Yeah. I mean, Chris Kelly, if it's the coach from Providence, no, unfortunately.
But I do have to caveat that by saying it has worked out for us. I mean, Bruce Cassidy, Jim Montgomery, I don't have a bad word to say about them. I mean, they were both incredible coaches. It's unfortunate how Cassidy went because I think he was dealing with a bunch of fucking crybabies. And I think that, and again, he shoved it right up our hoops and he went and won a cup. So, fuck us, I guess, right? So,
speaking of Robert, who's going to be joining us in the next probably 10 to 15 minutes, he drops in the comment here. He said Leach is probably next.
No,
I'm excited. We can ask him that question too when he hops on.
Yeah, dude.
But it aligns with what you're saying though, Davis, and with the Bruins, patterns and the way that they hire coaches.
I want a guy like Talkett that someone just brought up. I would love that fit. Was that you? Yeah, not a big deal. Is it what you're hearing?
I'm trying to point the other way. It was Mel.
Oh, you were pointing, it looked like you were pointing at yourself.
I know, because I'm mirrored right now, so I did this, and I'm like, no, wait, I didn't say it. I can't even control my own hands right now.
Carl would be off. I was just about to say that, dude. Like, I don't see.
I can't wait for him to come on,
if
dude.
he left, and if he left Denver, I'd be shocked. He's got the world by the balls right now at Denver. He's got all the facilities. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things where like he's such a good college coach and he's such a molder of men that I don't know how he would work out in an NHL system.
I was going to ask you, Davis, and I don't know if you know the answer to this question or not. And Mel, maybe you know the answer. But has there been a college hockey coach that has come to the NHL and actually been, I don't want to say dominant, but successful?
Was Jim Montgomery not?
He was Denver.
Where was, I mean, obviously it's early. Ryan Warsofsky is with San Jose now. I don't remember where he was. I want to say he was on a college staff. I'm not going to say he's fucking successful because obviously that place is a dumpster fire. But Patrice.
Then see, here's my worry with this stuff. Like, I don't want him to come in as the head coach and stink, right? And then now all of a sudden the fan base has to trash on Bergeron. You know what? Because every coach has a shelf life. I don't want him to become like open himself up to that kind of discourse. Although I think he would do a good job, but I don't. It scares me. Maybe like a tech role, like Veritek on the Sox. Like maybe he could be a special teams special coach or something and just work with the guys during practice. Robert said Warsofsky is a former NCAA D3 guy, been ECHL, AHL, NHL path. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's successful because obviously it's way too early. Hackstall. Yeah, I'm seeing Greg Cronin,
Greg Cronin.
Jim
Yeah.
Montgomery, Dave Quinn. That guy. Jesus.
Yeah, see, No Six says the same thing kind of I'm thinking of. He said, not sure Bergie wants to coach. If anything, he'd join Quater in the player development. That's kind of what I think too. And I think, isn't Chara
A better
doing that as
role.
well? Yeah,
I would
Chara's
love him in
doing
that
that, isn't
role.
he? I know he's got some kind of role within the
No,
front
he's
office.
just like I don't know if they ever came up with like an exact position for him. It was almost like an advisory role.
Motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Some sort of consultant. I'm trying to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, front office consultant. But
Let's see. What do you guys think? You think, I mean, they're only down by 3. I know that seems crazy right now. Yeah, Mark says Chara's a consultant.
cool.
Nosik said Chara hasn't officially been brought into the front office yet. 3 goals. Is there still time left on this Lauco penalty? I forget.
no, he's out. They killed it.
Yeah.
did kill
they
it?
killed
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that's a big kill.
I'm not feeling great. Not even from the fact that you're losing 4-1, but like Davis was saying, the end of that first period, it's just uninspiring hockey. Really
Yeah.
from everybody. It's just not. It's looking like old habits are creeping back in. A team that they look like pre-deadline.
Like, listen, the thing is, and you guys can probably both agree, not that I'm okay with losing. If you're playing inspired hockey and you're putting in an effort and you're getting some bad bounces here and there, listen, I can work with that. But if you're just completely uninspired, not even putting in an effort, like they are so flat right now. It looks like every other Bruins game I've watched this year.
I think that they're going to come out in the second with a little extra juice. I do, especially if Corpy comes out. If Corpy comes out, they'll come out with a little juice for the first 5 minutes, and then hopefully they pot one, and then we'll go back to 50-50 hockey.
Listen,
I guess
the thing is, good things happen when you put the puck on net. If
Right.
you're not even testing Allmark right now. You got to put pucks on net. Pucks in deep, boys. Right? Like you got you got to
Dump and chase, baby.
yeah. Like listen, we do it in Shell, and it works.
Let's do a little triangle. Let's
Yeah.
get a cycle going. Back to the basics.
Geek Squad says this game shows Ottawa wants it more than the Bruins, which is the
Yeah.
summary of the season.
Yeah.
And props, I agree with your comment. I'm not going to pull it up on the stream, but I agree. If people want to go find it, go look at it. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but yeah.
Then might have a point.
I can't believe Swayman has been playing like this. I thought after the first month of him playing, he'd be kind of back to where he was. This is terrible.
After this, like I'm definitely going back to watch that third goal because like it straight up looked like he just didn't. I'm really hoping he got his skate caught from what Nosik said. I mean, that was a real tough look. But then even that last goal, he failed to clear the puck, or at least get the puck to one of his defenders. He just looks lethargic right now. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
I
trying
don't know if you can pull that goal up. I'm curious.
Yep. I got it right here. Let me just share the screen really quick. And we can just let it keep playing. Oops. Sorry. So he said his skate got caught in the ice?
I don't know, the post or I don't know.
Davis, he must not have sparks.
Yeah.
You gotta get the box. He's skating
All right, let's
on
see.
half pitch.
Let's see.
Stützle scanning down low. Kachuk got far. He scores. Three Packers in on the power play. Ottawa has 3.
He got caught. Hang on.
Fellas, I just ain't seeing it.
I gotta see another angle because I'm not really seeing it from that angle.
Right away, this Three Packers in on the power
I can slow down the video speed. Yeah. Okay. So
All right, everyone
should
focus.
be
It's like we're in class.
everybody dig in. Everybody dig in. Where's
Pull
my
out the iPads.
telestrator?
Yeah.
All right, ready? So watch his left leg. It looks like it got caught on the post.
down low.
No,
He doesn't even try to put. He doesn't try to push
I'm not
off.
seeing it at all.
So the shot comes
Hold on,
or the
watch
pass
him.
goes
He
low.
doesn't try to. He doesn't try to move across.
Right
Watch,
there.
I'm
Yeah, you're
telling you.
right. So ready? He's passing through the crease. He goes down wicked late. He's
Look
kind
at
of
him,
caught.
He kicks the post.
Yeah. What are you doing, dude?
Maybe it's like
Like-
did his skate slide off the post and he couldn't push? Maybe.
But why is he already
Yeah, but why
going
are
in
you
that
going down-
desperation
why are you-
save?
Yeah, why are you going down with when Kachuk's clearly looking to make a pet? I mean,
Like, look at the puck is in front of the crease right now, and he's already
no, dude.
starting to like.
I'm telling you,
at
he
Push.
wanted to make the dramatic save. He threw his stick
Yeah.
out. Look at him.
Look at that.
look
are you
at
doing?
Kachuk- look at Kachuk though. He's not looking to make a shot there. He's
Yeah.
clearly looking for Is it Batherson?
Yeah,
No, it was-
Batherson.
Was it Batherson? He was the third goal.
Yeah, this is him scoring right here. Yeah.
From Ovi's spot, like Kachuk isn't
Look-
stuffing that home, dude.
Look at his positioning right here. Are you? He's
Maybe he had like his angles confused. Maybe he actually
Keep
thought he was.
rolling it, then he
Yeah.
sits.
dude. He's all right. He's like parallel to the bench. All right, ready?
He wants Corpy to play too.
What in the world?
Can you actually roll it back to what when Kachuk has it? Like, I'm curious what Peak is doing as well.
Yeah. So Peak's the first defenseman. Zadorov is into the crease. Peak's way too high.
All right, so yeah, well, he's too high, but again, I thought he was a little bit closer.
Yeah, and that's just a bad read by Sway.
That's not
He's-
the point, though, Nosek. Why is he going down there? That's what we're saying. Like, it doesn't matter if it's wrapped around the post.
It's
It's
wrapped around
horrible
the post.
positioning.
He's wrapped around the post because he yeah. Oh, okay. Good angle just came out during intermission. His skate is way too far out on the post, which doesn't let him move. It's still so small. Yeah. So that's what we're saying. Like the reason he got caught on the post is because he's down. He basically went down while he was in the corner. Like that's why his leg got caught. That's crazy.
I'm trying
That
to
just
find.
shows how out of it he is right now.
I'm trying to find that angle that Robert's talking about. Because I want to see it, but
Wish-
it definitely
better-
looks like he couldn't push off his.
Messin 360 freezing again, dude.
Yeah, it's either you have to watch a Nesson 360 and it freezes a bunch, or you got to watch on Xfinity and you're 6 minutes behind.
Right. And I don't even have Xfinity. I use my mom's, and every now
Or
and then
you pay-
I tried Xfinity tonight, and it said you're on your home Wi-Fi. You can't
don't
can't
wanna-
watch the game.
You don't want to pay $800 a month for Verizon Fios.
Mm.
It's really worth it, especially
It's
when
my
the
whole-
Bruins are as good as they are right now.
Yeah,
Well worth it.
it's my whole 2-week paycheck. Let me see here. It's so frustrating, dude. But you just got to go to Corpy. I think if they don't,
Or-
whatever. But
Yeah, but we talked about it, dude. Like every game is a must win if you're gunning
Yeah.
for the playoffs. Which, like this team, I don't see this team winning four games in a playoff. Like, sorry,
Davis.
I see them losing in 4 games.
you don't think if they played Florida in round 1, they'd win?
I think they'd get absolutely waxed. They
No,
may
sick.
win 1.
No, it's like they hardly pay me. He said USPS pays you, Sully? Yeah, barely. Zimprov said wine is BOGO at Publix if you're suffering in Florida.
I could use a nice Merlot right now. Maybe a nice cab.
Ooh.
Nice Cabernet. Should we
Sauvignon.
go hit a restaurant?
Sauvignon.
Go get some fancy
Some of the
food.
funkies.
Yeah. Tess, we're gonna go to Funkies.
They got Cabernet at Funk's.
When is your night with the
Yes.
When is your night with the cup?
Tess, do you have Cabernet at Funkies? Bad news, fellas. Funky Murphy's in Marlboro does not have Cabernet. It's not that kind of
Yeah.
establishment.
So we're gonna have to drink beer and liquor. Gross.
You can always go to the
You're-
99.
Your wine options are Merlot and Pinot
Noir.
Noir. Pinot Noir.
It's noir, you uncultured
Pinot,
swine.
Pinot Noir. Peanut Noir.
Oh my god.
We got to be in that locker room right now. Keep the boys light.
I know.
Yeah, they should project us on the walls.
All right, if they're playing this, Davis, if they're playing this in the locker room right now, what are you saying to the team? They're listening to you right now.
How about swerve in that corner? Oh. No.
As soon as you started giggling before you even talked, I knew something was going to come
Well,
out
the
of your
thing was, I almost couldn't remember the lyrics, so it would have just been awkward silence.
Somebody say something, please. Somebody say something, please.
Oh. Yeah, no, I honestly, I don't know what can be said, dude. Like, again, it's not going to be one of those, come on, guys, coach is right. Like, I don't know. How uninspired they look. Like, there isn't anything you can say to them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We'll see. Corpusalo, baby.
Is he out? All right, there we go.
I'm telling you,
All
my
right,
sources were telling me, man.
On that note, Davis, you want to plug your stuff really quick before we bring in Robert here?
Yeah. Drop the Mitts hockey. Thank you guys for having me on, though. Greatly appreciate you guys and love what you guys are doing here. So definitely keep up the good work.
We'll have to hop on the sticks pretty soon. Maybe get a stream going.
Yeah, what are you doing at 11 p.m. tonight?
Yeah.
Probably
Don't tempt
sleeping.
But yeah, no,
fellas.
thank you, Davis. We'll see. We'll probably be talking to you in like an hour. So
All right, see you, boys.
Bye,
See you,
Davis. Shout out Chris Davis at Drop Mitts Hockey. Always a good time to talk to our guy there. Probably be on EASHL sooner rather than later.
We should start streaming those games again.
We should. We just need to make sure that when we do, we're all prepped to be streaming.
I don't think we've played a single game yet where somebody has been absolutely bundled.
yeah, putting it lightly.
And it's only been 2 people, but they just alternate between days of who's getting hammered that night. It's been something, but I do miss the days because we used to do those streams all the time. I think I still have the login. I would assume you do too, at least.
I think so. I haven't been on Twitch in a long time, but we started doing, before we even had a podcast, we started doing ESHL streams in like NHL 20, I think 2021.
And our original team was the Screaming Souls, and our logo was the Tiki Head.
Yeah. Now
we were horrible, dude. We were in like D9 or something. We were terrible.
We couldn't get out of D8. Like D8 was our like Titan.
Yeah,
it was so bad. Robert, I don't know if you're still in here, but I did send you the link. It's on Twitter. Let's see. Kyle came in. He said, we're back for more bullying.
Yeah.
Corky's in. Zen props. Oh my God. Bench Corpusalo. He didn't do anything wrong, but at this point, play mind games. That's funny. All right. We need
keep pulling their goalie, play 6 guys. I'm telling you, if they just laid the net down and played posts, I think we would have similar chances of keeping the puck out of our net right now.
I think if we just played posts.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on. What's your stream at right now? What's your time?
18:54.
Okay, so I'm about 15 seconds ahead of you. So if anything happens, I won't say anything.
It's okay. You can react. I don't mind because it helps me tune in to see what I'm missing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Should I put this out tomorrow as an episode? Just so we have something go up. Welcome to the workshop of Something's Brewing. Everybody watching.
Yeah, I mean, because it will be, a full over a week since the last episode dropped on all streaming platforms. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we had a wild week. We had that surprise episode drop the day after the deadline.
That's right. We had 2.
Yeah, we were gonna do the roundtable on Tuesday for the Florida game, but your men's league, I'm not even gonna say ours because I don't play. I'm not on the team. Your men's league game got moved. Davis says, "You boys had me in the sweatshop." You looked good though, Davis. You were very outside of your wedding. I think this was the best you ever looked.
I was gonna say I've seen him dress up twice in my entire life, at his wedding and tonight on the stream.
It is crazy when I think about that. It is crazy when I think about that he had Sammy Adams at his wedding. Sammy
Yeah,
Adams
I
was
know.
just at the wedding.
And it's not like he just showed up and sang a song too. He like hung out for a while. Like he was talking to everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Robert's coming. He's just
I
going to set
remember
up oops,
when-
didn't mean to do that.
I don't know who it was. I think I saw the video on my phone, but when Sammy Adams walked in, someone was like, "Who is that?" And I don't know who it was. Somebody around me was like, "It's Sammy Davis
No way.
from the Rat Pack."
Yeah. Oh shit.
Uh-oh. What
Oh,
happened?
Letary. Oh,
Fight?
sorry. Yeah.
No,
kinda.
you're good.
Kind of, sort of.
Mm,
No Six said you boys want to join me for a prov stream coming up. Let me know the dates. Text me the dates and I'll see what I'm doing that day. Oh, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Chalmers. What's going on, dude?
what's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Loud and clear.
Let's go. Let's go. I got the
Dude.
game on. I got you guys there. I'm still trying. I was loading up Safari, and it's like you can't use Safari. I'm like, all right, now I gotta get a different browser going. I'm like, oh god.
Oh, really? It's
They never make
StreamYard
it
doesn't
easy.
work on Safari?
Didn't say it said try Firefox, Chrome, or something else. So it has. I have both Chrome and Firefox. It wasn't a big issue, but and getting these
Yeah.
freaking AirPods connected was a pain in the ass. But I got them.
Yeah. Have you done live streams before?
No, I'm trying to. So I'm in the works of starting something. So be ready
Yeah.
for
Oh,
that.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
You could say there's something brewing.
Something brewing. That's right.
That's awesome, dude. Because I've been following you for years now, I think.
Yeah. Same to you.
And you always have insight on the younger guys, on the guys in college, on the guys, in juniors,
Yep.
draftees. Yeah. And you're one of my go-tos for when I'm trying to learn about these guys and these players coming up. So I'm kind of curious as to what your perspective is. Is it worth the Bruins going for a top 10 pick this year? Is the draft that loaded, or would you rather see them push for playoffs?
It's loaded in the top 10, but that's about it if you
Mhm.
want that top center. I mean, if you pull up the rankings, you're not going to get a top 6 center past 15, I'd say. The ceiling for that probably drops off around 15, I'd say. But someone could slip due to league not or concerns with injuries and all that. There's a few guys that have been. I know this McQueen kid is just coming back from injury. The
Yep.
big center, I think he's a center with Brandon in the WHL, and then you have Caleb Denoyer from Moncton, who's who I
Ooh.
love. I love him. He is one of my favorites. He's ranked
I've heard
all
of
over
him,
the
and
place.
you just crushed his name, by the way.
Yeah, well, I
I
watch
was
a lot
impressed.
of.
I was gonna let him keep going.
I watch a lot of that league, so,
Yeah.
and I go up there sometimes. So that one's my favorite, and it's gonna get better. I don't know if you know the new. Well, we'll discuss this too. So I don't know if you know the new NCAA CHL rule. So these kids that play in these leagues since November, this rule changed, and starting next year, it goes into effect. If you played in the OHL, the QMJHL, or the WHL, you can't go to the NCAA. Your eligibility is gone. But that in November. That changed because the Division I Council decided you're just amateurs, and the reason they were considered pro players because they get paid a stipend of depends on the team and league. They get paid a little bit of money per week. It wasn't a lot, but they'd be considered pro players. So once you play, if you went to their training camps, you could only go for 48 hours. Once you go 1 minute past that, you're deemed ineligible for the NCAA. They were so strict about
Wow.
it, but they got rid of it. So the one thing you might see with some of these guys in this upcoming draft is we'll use Denoyer as an example. I don't think this will happen because I think he'd be too skilled. He could go probably to the AHL and whatnot after a few years, but he could go to the NCAA next year if he wanted. Maybe we don't. That's the thing. All these players that are going to the NCAA from these leagues are older, but after this draft, there was a rumor, I don't know if you saw earlier in the year, that Michael Misa could go to BU, and we were like, whoa. So
Yeah.
if that happens, a lot of things are going to change in the whole junior landscape. So if Denoyer goes to somewhere or Misa goes somewhere next year in the NCAA, it could be really good for their development because they're playing against players up to 20, 21 years old, and then they go play against players that are up to like 25 years old, and the following year they could go pro. So like, there's a lot to that.
Yeah. So you were talking. Well, do you know, or maybe have an inkling as to why they made that rule change?
I think it's because of NIL stuff, because they're getting all kinds of payments from that all around, and like it was kind of stupid. Like, if you think about it, like you make that decision if you want to go NCAA or major junior at the age of like 15. That's a crazy decision to make at that age, and like it's just insane. Like you want to, and now they have the option to do both, so it's like it's easy.
Yeah. And so, how do you say this kid's name again? Caleb?
Caleb Denoyer.
Caleb? I'm not even going to try.
Every time you say it, I get more and more impressed.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
few
not that
Quebec
eloquent.
kids. There's a few Quebec kids in the draft. Another one I think he's a winger, but I like is Justin Cabonneau from Blainville. And then there's one other kid. Yeah, that he's nasty. So the reason I like him is because he plays both power play and penalty kill, and he just flies everywhere.
So is he a center? Is that his main position?
Yeah, he's a center for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so I got you guys can see this too, right? The rankings. Okay.
No, not the
right.
rankings. I just see the video that you're showing.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to switch the
I love the whole rule that they're doing here, letting these guys go to the NCAA.
Yeah, Denoyer plays with another Bruins prospect, Loke Johansson, as a Swede. Yeah. He moved over here this summer. He got picked in the import draft, and he here's a good ranking. So Hagen's obvious. Right now, I'd say the list has gone to around Schaefer, Misa, Hagens, in my opinion. But they're all different. They're all around this. They're all very like valuable, and like they're all great. They're all good rankings, I'd say, this year. There's not a ton compared to other years where they're all over the place. They're all pretty similar this year, I'd say. Yeah, the Ivan Rabkin one, that kid's interesting because he absolutely was atrocious in Russia this year. And then he came over to the USHL, and he's looked good, but he's committed like he's gotten suspended like twice already.
Yeah, holy crap. 50 penalty minutes in 16 games.
He has a slew foot and a head. He has a slew foot and a headshot so far. So
he's got quite the rap.
Russians, huh? Living up to the name.
Yeah, so he was not good. He played a few KHL games and then a few VHL games. VHL is like the AHL of Russia, and then the MHL is like the junior league of Russia. So, like, if you look at his past year, he dominated the MHL. Like, he had insane numbers. Oh, you're ahead of me. All right, don't tell me. I want to see it. You're good.
Yeah.
How do I pull it up? Fubo. I got Fubo, so I'm behind.
We're all at different points. I'm like 10 seconds behind Sully. You're behind me. All right.
Oh, I'm like way behind. What is going on here? I'm on like the fourth. Like,
as the second period started yet?
Like Fubo has like the 4K Nesson channel, and then they have the actual Nesson channel, the Nesson play. It's like it's crazy. And then obviously, if you have a provider that has Nesson, you have Nesson 360, and Nesson 360 is also crazy. So it's I've always found 360 is always like the most is the closest to the action though. So that's the only thing I like about it. Otherwise, it's a terrible app.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm working with right now. And even this is a little bit behind like cable, but it's just it freezes all the time. I will say it's gotten a little bit better since it initially launched, but still it's like I don't know exactly what I pay for it. I think it's like $35 a month.
You pay for Charlie Moore Outdoors.
Yeah, you pay for Charlie Moore and his fishing show.
Well, that's what I got it for. That's why I watch it. It just so happens that the Bruins are also on this channel.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to look up his suspension right now that you were talking about.
You're probably finding video is going to be hard. You probably have to go all the way into Flow Hockey to find it.
Flow Hockey. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that's like the subscription service for the USHL. It's like that's how you'd find videos and all that. But Rabkin is he's interesting because like he has potential from his past year in Russia, but like hasn't lived up to it this year. So there's concern there.
Oh my gosh.
All right, the goal like just happened for me.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You're like 2 minutes behind me.
Let's see. I don't think I
Yeah.
have the video of his headshot or his suspension, but I do have a little highlight I can pull up here. And he's what's his rank right now? He's ranked probably in like the top 20, right?
Who, Rabkin?
Yeah.
So I've seen ranks where he's in like the third round. I've seen him where he's still a first rounder.
Oh.
So everyone's all over with him. He's the one that's like all over the place.
Yeah, they have him at 11. Whose list is this? Elite prospect.
That looks like consolidated, which means it's a combination of a
Interesting.
ton of lists.
Okay. Interesting, because I've never even heard of this guy before. Like I've heard of Jake O'Brien. I think Jake O'Brien with the Bruins and where their position is right
It'd
now.
be fun.
I feel like maybe he could slide to them. Yeah, he would points per game too, 145. I mean,
Yeah, there was a kid who just got hurt that I really liked because he was physical everywhere. Carter Bear. He just had a scary
Yes.
injury. It was like an Achilles thing or something. I don't know, ankle. I can't remember what it was. It was something lower body. But I loved him. He was playing with Everett with that DuPont kid.
yeah, Landon DuPont.
He's he plays for Everett. Like that's another kid. Like if he goes NCAA, I would love that. But like we don't know how that's going to shape out. Well, no, this summer there's going to be a lot of changes with the whole prospect landscape. Yeah, this Rabkin kid he was pretty nuts in Russia last year, but this year I wonder if it's like an injury or something.
Ooh.
He just hasn't lived up to it this year.
This is
But-
the one with all the penalty minutes?
Yeah, this is the kid with
Yes.
all the penalty minutes in the U.S. this year. He has a slew foot and a headshot.
Oh,
Both in like
Oh,
his
yeah.
first.
He's got some grit to him. All right.
Ew, look at this though. Look at his hands. Hang on a second. Look at this.
Yeah, it's silky. Oh.
Oh my god,
That's
dude.
against Ammer. Yeah, that's with him and
Oh, yeah.
Dynamo.
This first shot right here too was nasty. Ew.
Oh, he's got a
Yeah,
quick
okay.
release.
I wish he was a bit better this year because he would be like a top 5 pick if he if his stock was going up. But like he just completely fell off in Russia, and there's so much concern with him right now. The good thing is it's not like a Michkov situation where like if he would come over, he's already in the U.S. right now, so like you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I'm so curious to see what ends up happening with this team this year. David
Me too.
says he's giving me so Samson
my God.
vibes. But I'm very intrigued because it's weird. We have, as like a fan base and as an organization, we haven't really been in this position in such a long time. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna refresh my browser for the game. It's,
No, I'm
it's so
sorry.
behind. It's not even funny.
I need to remember that you guys are behind me, and I don't. Nothing happens. but-
You've said it like 4 times. I won't react. And then like a guy
And
gets
then
off
happens.
for a line change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
yeah. I
He
can't help
swung his
it.
legs over the boards.
Yeah. Holy crap, Castelling's on the ice.
Guys.
But I don't know. The fact that this team has their first round pick, their own pick, it gives me some sense of comfort knowing that if they do end up missing, then at least they kind of control their own destiny. And
Yeah.
you still have things that you can work with.
The other thing is they have. I'm trying to look right now how many picks they have in this. It's either 1 or 2 second rounders now this year.
I think
they
have
got 2 second rounders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Sweeney has not been bad in the second round.
Yeah.
He's
That's
got-
the only round he can draft.
He's got Patra. He's got I think Carlo out of there. He's got
Lori too, right?
Lausanne. Yeah,
Lori,
Lausanne, who's an
Lindgren.
NHLer. So having 2 of those is valuable. My guess is what they'll do is they'll get if they can get if they're in the top 15. This is just a hypothetical. They'll probably go after a center or winger and then take a right shot with one of those second rounders for sure because the second round has a good amount of defensemen with like a low floor but like higher ceiling type thing. Like there's this right shot kid from Maine, Carter Amico. He's hurt, but he's a great skater. He's big, very similar to Carlo, I'd say. Who else is down here? Let's see. This kid at BU, he's a Swede, Sasha Bomedian. It's weird. It's spelled weird. I think he's a
Better
left
than I
shot
can try to
though.
pronounce it.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy names in this year's draft. It's nuts. Like Yeah, any of the Quebec kids I'm pretty good with though.
Mhm.
Because usually every year in the spring, I have like a little tradition I do. I go up to like playoff game up in the queue and watch it. Like they're trying to expand like down here. I don't know if you saw. They're trying to bring a team to Manchester possibly, but who
Are they the
knows?
queue?
Really?
Yeah, it's nothing's official, but like there's rumors that could happen.
That
Wow,
would be
that would be
cool.
interesting.
Holy shit.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
It's so.
Although-
No, go ahead, Mel.
I
Sorry.
would say all the hockey around here between the NHL, PWHL, all the college hockey teams around here. If the Q came down here and played in New Hampshire too, like
Yeah.
holy shit, talk about a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. They'd probably want a few teams in New England to make it work. Not just having one would be kind of weird because like next year they're having a team relocate from a place called Bathurst to Newfoundland, and Newfoundland is very far east, so they have to pay for like the expenses and they have to fly there. And then there are other teams where you have to take a boat, like
Oh
over
no.
like to Bay Como and like Rimouski and all that, and it's like it's far. So, but I usually go up each year to like this little town called Sherbrooke. It's the closest city in the queue to us, and it's like 3.5 hours or so from where I live, and it's fun. I usually go every year to watch like a game. I'm hoping they play against like a Moncton or like a Blainville, which because they have these top picks playing potential. The Cabano or what's the other kid? Denoyer.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping they get a matchup against them and I can watch them. So because we have the first time I went up there is when we drafted that kid Bruin down in Providence, and we'll get into some Providence stuff in a little bit.
Yeah.
Is I watched him when he played with Rimouski in Sherbrooke, and his game has changed so much compared to when he was in junior to the pros now, which is he's one of my favorite guys down there. Really cool dude. I met him at the draft actually when he got drafted. We were at the same hotel and I ran into him in the elevator. It was hilarious.
No way.
Yeah.
That's sick. And like, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought.
When you
Brunei.
go,
No, go ahead, Mel. Sorry, my bad.
I was gonna ask, when you go to these games, like in the queue or whatever, as a fan, like what is the environment like up there? Is it similar to that
it's a
of, like,
lot
college
different.
hockey team?
It's a lot different than down here. Like in the playoffs, you're allowed to bring in like these horns and stuff and like go crazy. It's insane. If you look up like the championship last year, I think it was Drummondville against Bay Como. Just look up like QMJHL championship. You'll see they have like these horns like going off like crazy. You can bring in like all these things. They like hand out like t-shirts and all. It's nuts. It's so fun. But the Q's a bit different than the only issue with the league is it's been a lot weaker talent wise than the O and the Dub because it's the player pool is smaller. It's just Quebec and New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and those are like smaller populated areas in Canada. Now with I think the NCAA rule is going to change that because we have a lot of talent for younger players in New England, and the Q's U.S. territory is just New England. And I've talked to scouts up there who hate that, and they think it should be the East Coast, but it's awesome. The environment up there is way different than like a college hockey game in the playoffs, I'd say. Although college hockey it's different. It's not. They're both awesome. Like it's so fun.
Yeah, I wish that college hockey, when they have their college hockey tournaments, the playoffs, I wish they wouldn't do neutral sites. I wish that they would have these games at like a Gaddis or at the Conti.
You want to laugh? Look up listen to this. You have to turn the volume up, but like
Ready?
Yeah.
listen to everything that's going on.
Drummondville.
Like, do you hear all the horns going off and everything? Like, they're going insane.
15 years, the Voltigeurs are
It's like a European soccer game.
It is, yeah. It's
to the
insane.
Memorial Cup.
Wow.
Oh, that's gonna be cool to play in that environment.
Yeah. So that's Drummondville. That's like 4 hours away. It's not too. I drive everywhere, so I think nothing's far. So ignore me on that part. But yeah, it's a different breed, and I think it's going to get better as the with the new NCAA stuff comes in.
Yeah. What were you going to tell me to look up?
Oh, I forget. What was it? Oh, when we were talking about the college hockey neutral sites, look up
Oh, yes.
where they are this year. It's like Manchester, like I think Omaha or something. It's terrible. It's like Fargo, North Dakota. Like,
Yeah, I
what are
say
we
one of
doing?
them's in Fargo. I think
Yeah.
Quinnipiac's in Fargo or something.
Yeah, those aren't out yet. We have to wait for the tournaments to finish for each
Or
conference.
I thought I saw like they
The
could be
Ottawa
projected
just
to play
scored.
there.
I hear their horn
Mhm.
going off.
Yep.
And it's
Dylan
especially
Cousins.
dumb because I remember, I think it was a couple years ago, there were games being played, I think in Hartford, but Quinnipiac's games were in Arizona. And it's like,
Yeah, that
what?
happens.
You got-
Well, you know what's funny? When one of the sites were in Bridgeport, I watched Lori play for OSU at for Ohio State in Bridgeport when they played Harvard, and like it was awesome. It was like I don't know if you watch Bridgeport AHL games, but their rink is like gets like no fans, but like
Oh, yeah.
those games it was packed. Like there for some reason they got way more fans at that game.
Yeah.
And Lori just if you look up. I might have actually uploaded it actually to YouTube. Lori against Harvard, Bridgeport semis or something like that. He was awesome in that. That was the best game I've seen him play. He had like a goal and 2 assists or something. And he was good. And then they played Quinnipiac, who ended up winning it all, I think, that year, and they lost to them.
Damn
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
I
was-
love the whole. I love the. I feel like every college has their own sort of tradition, especially come playoff time, and I think that's part of the fun. And I would love if they could bring back
Yeah.
or get rid of the neutral zones and whatnot, like the where Yale plays in that whale or whatever. One of the coolest.
Yeah.
I've never been in it, but every single time I was in New Haven and I would walk past it, I was look through the window just to see what it looked like in there. One of the coolest stadiums I've ever seen. I would love to see a playoff game there.
Yeah, I was going to go there for a women's game because I do work with Northeastern sometimes.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's my video. That's my train YouTube channel. You can watch this.
There we
It's
go.
like a quick 40-second video. But I was going to
Do you
go to
wanna-
Yale for that. And then I got COVID. And I was like, God damn it.
Oh,
I was pissed.
damn.
Yeah.
Do you want to give your YouTube channel a shout out?
This isn't it. So this is another
Oh,
one I
okay.
don't use. Ignore this one. But yeah, so my other one, so if you follow me on Instagram, I'm Cohen's Hockey. I do a lot of like prep and high school video content. So if anyone wants to hire me for something like that, you'll see my content out there. I'm still trying to promote it and such, and then I write here and there, obviously on my blog. But
So you're saying right here, this is Lori, right?
yeah, I think that's him right there. He's got it now. I think he like goes around the net. He gets an assist here. This isn't too crazy. It's the other 2 goals I think he did really well on. That's actually Cole McWard with the puck. He's with Vancouver now.
Ew.
Yeah, there's Lori again. So I think he tips this in here,
Yeah.
which is
what a
hilarious.
play.
Wow.
And then this is awesome. This is a great rush by him.
Oh, look at him take it. Dude, look at him.
Effortless skater. He's crazy.
What a play.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he was dominant that game. Defensively, too. He like laid out a check as well. That was nasty. It was awesome. But
So what
Yeah.
what got you into kind of going down this route for I'm assuming what you want, to be a career. Also, never mind. But yeah, what got you started going down this path? I almost did it. I kind of
someone must have scored. But I don't know. I think it was when they picked Lysell, which we'll get into, I'm sure. I was like, I kind of want to get into more of these prospect guys. I watched like almost every game of his when he played in the WHL. I think he was okay that year. It was the playoffs. If we could get Fabian Lysell 2022 playoff, it was the playoffs in the WHL. He was so good in those 2 series against Everett and I think it was like Kamloops. I don't know. He was so good in that. I was just like, I would just want to get into more prospects, and that's kind of how it went down. But hockey's always been from my dad. He's always been a big Bruins guy, and learning from him it's just been awesome. And learning throughout the youth hockey community and everything has been awesome too with my whole Cohen's Hockey gig. So that's been fun. And then obviously I do statistics as well for Northeastern for their hockey, which is awesome. So.
Oh, no kidding. I actually I met Northeastern's head coach last year at my
Jerry.
girlfriend's. Yeah. I met him at my girlfriend's grandmother's birthday party. Actually, he just happened to be in the restaurant.
What the
And I
hell?
saw. I saw. I was like, I did a quick double take, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I went up and I was like, I introduced myself and we just started talking about Northeastern hockey. And we were just kind of shooting the shit for like, honestly, like probably a half an hour. He's a great guy.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I'm more invested with their women's program than the men's, but I do know a few kids on the men's team. One kid from my town who I know pretty well who's plays there. He played this is actually really funny. He played last night and I just saw the goal. He played last night. He got an assist the game-winning assist when he wasn't even on the ice for some reason, which I thought was hilarious. So I don't know how that happened. Yeah,
He's stat
when they played
padding.
Merrimack. Yeah,
He's stat padding from the bench.
Yeah.
I got that. That was my assist.
Yeah,
That was
all me.
Slip the scorekeeper a 20.
I know you mentioned.
Was this Marat?
obviously-
I didn't even see it was Marat
Yeah, it was.
who scored.
Who's the
So
Dinov, dude?
Yeah, I love him. He's one of my. He played with Michkov out in Russia, both in St. Petersburg and in Sochi. Sochi is where the Olympics were in like 2014 or whatever it was, and he was so good he was their captain. He was he was like their captain. He was like 21 or whatever it was.
Really?
Which I think he was. Let me see.
Wait, Michkov or Husnudinov?
Marat Husnudinov.
Holy crap!
God, he is so fast.
Right now. Or is he?
No, he wore so he wore an A most of the year, and then I think he wore a C for the last like 10 games. So Late Prospect chose him as an A, but he was one of my favorite acquisitions at the deadline. I was like, we're getting Husnudinov. This kid literally can do it all. I love him. He's so shifty. He's just so shifty with it, and I love his game.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Davis too, about that trade. To think that Brazeau just played 4 minutes in his wild game the other night. Well, I think it was benched for the second and third period.
I couldn't believe I thought we were going to get like a 6 for him. I was ready to be like, we'll just get a 6 or a 5th, and that's it.
All right.
They got both Lauko, Husnudinov, and like a 4th or a 3rd or something.
Yeah,
I
think it
can't
was
even
a
remember.
4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a 4th.
So I'll take that any day of the week. But I thought Husnudinov was the most valuable asset in that. He's only 22. Yes, he's 5'9", but when he played in the KHL with St. Petersburg at 22, at like 19 years old, he had 41 points in 63 games against that's like the second best league in the world. So that's valuable. So they obviously thought there was some potential there, and I think that's why they gambled on getting him for who I think who could be better than Brazeau one day. I think, even though he's 5'9", but
dude, he honestly might already provide more than Brazeau. And
for two-way, because Brazeau's skating is not great, and because he's so big in how all that works. But
yeah, I don't know if you heard Davis's thoughts on Brazeau, but he's not a fan. So I know.
Really, I've heard I love Chris, but I've heard Brazeau. He was really valuable in Providence for some of the younger guys. They had a line of Lysell, Merkulov, and Brazeau, and it had they were just dominating games for a while, and then it was too good that they signed Brazeau to a contract, and he was up for the rest of his Bruins career. Now he's gone. So how that went is how it went, and I think the asset management there is pretty big. And now I think they're going to set Providence up on a run because they have first of all, if we don't make the playoffs, you're going to add Husnudinov down there. I think that's the only guy. Obviously Patra's down there now, but I watched them last night. I mean, the way Patra plays down there is so different than when he plays in the NHL. It's crazy. He controlled the game last night. I think he was on the ice for 2 goals against, but he had 2 assists that he enters the zone with ease. He makes plays look easy, wins battles down there way better. It's just, I don't know why it's so different, but I think that's one reason why I need to keep him down there for a bit.
Robert, really quick, Zen Props comes in with a comment. He goes, "You just saw the Pasta overtime goal against Toronto?"
Oh my God.
It's Fubo. It's Fubo. Mark says Patra is too timid in the NHL. I think it's just his size. I just don't think he's fully built up to play his game completely yet. But
I think he'll get there. I think he'll get there based on what I've seen with Providence. I mean, he's a point per game guy down there right now, and it's he's got 9 goals I think right now with them or something like that. He's scoring down there.
He was on like a
making
7-game
plays
scoring
happen.
streak too at one point.
Yeah, he had like a ridiculous goal scoring streak down there. I remember that. I was like, all right, we got to bring him back up, and then he
You got
kind of didn't
Gretzky
really do
playing
much
in the A
again.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's very good down there, and I think there's value to that. And then obviously there's other guys down there that are really good down. Really good. I think Merkulov has been so good down there, but it just hasn't translated to the NHL yet, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Now that could be his size as well. I feel like the skating's not super great either with him, but his shot is really strong. His playmaking's great too. He doesn't turn it over as much as Lysell does, but that's where things stand down there. And the only issue down there is defense. Although they did add that Warner kid from Edmonton, and then who else? They just made an AHL trade as well, getting rid of Drew Bavaro for forget
and
who they
McLaughlin
got.
too.
Yeah, they got rid of
too.
McLaughlin from Missiol. That's right. Who I like. He's gonna need time, but he's played a few games in the NHL, I believe, but he's away right now for a personal matter. So I don't know when he'll come back. He's probably back in Russia right now, if that's the case. So I have no idea. So
Yeah, Davis brings up this point too, and this is what I did want to talk to you about this. And plus Providence as a whole, but I'll bring that one after. Davis said you guys were going to talk about Bruin. We have similar views on him, and me personally, I don't know a ton about Bruin. Mel, I don't know about you, but
Not much.
Robert, what do you know about Frederick Bruin?
So when he played in junior, it was all offense. It's all it was. It was just run the power play, set up plays, shoot the puck, do all that. Now down in Providence, I don't know if this is the McQuaid factor or whatnot, because he's worked very closely with him. It sounds like his defense is like completely changed. His retrievals are unbelievable. He's super confident with under pressure, which is very valuable, especially when you're in pro. And he makes it happen. He scored last night. He's not super offensive now in the AHL. You know, that transition from juniors very difficult, but he's looked way better than he has at the start of his pro career, and that's 100% what I think. Now, some people could disagree with that. He doesn't have a ton of points, but he's going to jump his point total from last year to this year a little bit. But like, I think he still needs a little time. He definitely needs to develop some other parts of his game. But like, if you watch him there was a preseason game he played where he was just so calm and just confident with everything he did. So I love him. He's a left shot. If he was a right shot, I think there's a chance he could be up like really soon. But he's not. He's a left shot. So there's a little issue there.
So I know these are junior highlights, but
That's him with Rimouski. That's an overtime goal.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Man. So I couldn't find a highlight reel of Providence. This was the quickest one I could find, but so you were saying in juniors he was mainly used like as we're seeing right now, like on the power play, kind of being that quarterback.
He's the quarterback right now on Providence's power play as well. But I think that's really because Ian Mitchell's up right now, and yeah, there he is sallying. I think he's got potential. If he has 1 year, like next year, he just boosts his offensive game, like in production. That's I don't know if they'll promote him or I don't want to say trade him because he'll have value, but like he's got potential for sure. So I love him.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Olmark just made a fucking crazy save. Keep an eye on the TV for when that comes across. That was crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna want to watch this, Robert.
In terms of
it's coming up, I bet.
For
who do you make it on? It's gonna be on the first line, right?
I think that's on. Is that Lauco?
Ooh, Lauco.
Yeah,
I'm like way
that's
behind. Dude.
Was it? I don't know. They just showed Lauco with his hands on his head, all pissed off. It could have been Lori. You're gonna see that on ESPN tomorrow.
Oh yeah. No, that was nuts. I'm watching Robert now. I just want to see his reaction.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so behind, dude. It's just. Like the puck just went out of play. Like I'm at 1:43 of the second. Like what's going on here?
Oh, the third period just started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
And I wasn't. It was this comment here. What a save by Olmark. I had to wait about 30 seconds myself to see it come across my screen.
Yeah.
So I know.
Unreal.
In terms of Frederick Brunet for his defensive style? Is he more of a shutdown kind of guy? Does he use his physicality? Like, what are you getting?
Davis was saying he thought he was more two-way. I know Davis said that.
Yeah, he's more two-way. I mean, he does shut down. I mean, yesterday I thought he had an off game defensively, but at times his gap control is usually really strong. But yesterday I thought it was not great, but it's usually really strong, especially along the board, shutting plays down. Yeah, there's the Allmark save. This crowd just went crazy.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. And Allmark with this stuff, I just hear that. So, but yeah, he's really strong at the defensive side now, and I think that you have to credit the development staff for sure. And I heard you guys mention Char earlier. Like, could they add him as like a development role? I think that'd be really big because, like, you saw what he did for like when he was paired with like I don't know, like McAvoy, and when he was here or whatnot. And I don't know if I watched when he was with the Islanders, he was paired with Noah Dobson a little bit, and Dobson wasn't like spectacular yet, but after he played with him, he started to rack up a lot of points. So that's valuable if he could come in as like a development guy. I don't know if he would do that, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Would you obviously one of the biggest conversations this year has been Lysell.
Yeah.
A lot of people are growing very impatient with him. Do you think, it's more of an organizational problem of them not bringing him up, or is it actually something in his game that just does not fit with the way that the Bruins roster is constructed?
So he's been better lately. I mean, there are also games where he was just turning the puck over like crazy, and it's just doing these dumb entries. But I thought last night he was really good. He didn't make any mistakes last night. Last night against Toronto, he was very strong. He scored on a great feed from Patra on a feed behind the defense. I thought that was really, really big for him. But he's been better lately. It's just, can he figure it out? Like, can he keep it up? Like, if he keeps up what he did yesterday, he'll get a call up for sure. I mean, they need him to be productive and then show that he can do it at the NHL level for sure, and show that he belongs in a way. But yeah, it is taking a lot of time. I mean, there's a lot of guys like behind his pick that have played Sam Miscavige I was hoping we were going to get him for Barshan. Like, when I saw he was going to Florida, I'm like, please be Sam Miscavige. I love this kid. He's
nasty.
Connecticut guy, I think, right? Yeah, I went to Michigan. No, not Quinnipiac.
I wish.
Just because Connecticut, and Mel is a Quinnipiac alum. So.
Yeah, he was a Michigan guy. He was really good there. But yeah, it's tough.
Mark says Lysell's immature and has entitlement issues because he's a former first-round pick.
Yeah,
is there any validity to that?
Well, here's the thing: he was projected. I don't blame the Bruins for picking him because there was a lot of. Here's the thing: it was one of the COVID drafts, and it was difficult because he played like 20 games and then a few junior games, and then they immediately sent him to North America the following year to Vancouver, and he was okay for junior production wise that year. It was the playoffs, as I said earlier, that I thought he was awesome in. He was dominant in those games, but he needs to figure some stuff out for sure. But I mean, he had somewhat of a good year last year, and towards the end of the year, I don't know if you remember, Sweeney said in a press conference, like, if he didn't get hurt, I think he got like a concussion or something, they were gonna call him up, and then he got hurt. So I mean, he had like 50 points in 56 games last year, and it's dipped a bit this year. Like, we were about to hit the 50 game mark for him now, and he's only at 33, but he does have 11 goals. So I don't know what it is, but his skating's still strong. It's the puck handling. He turns it over a lot. Although I thought last night he was very good, but if we can see more of what he did last night, it would be strong. It would be good. Valuable.
Yeah, that's what I've heard a lot too. Is that he almost tries to, in terms of what Mel uses, he tries to hero puck it a lot, and he almost tries to go one-on-one way too much.
Yeah, he did it a few times yesterday, but like he succeeded at it every time. I was like, oh, okay, we
Yeah,
got
see,
something going
like there's
here.
two sides to the coin.
Yeah, and then, but I usually am not a fan when he does it a lot, but you know,
Yeah.
it is his game. He likes to play that way, but if you can, they do use him a lot on entries on like the power play, and and it usually works, but they don't have him go like 1-on-3. It's usually when they do the drop back pass, F1 or whatever it is, and then fly up ice out of the zone. And he's usually pretty good at that. That's what I want to think is the stronger parts to his game. Two pad stack. What's up? Um, good to see you. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that's where I'm at with him. You know, good dude. He's you know, they've visited. I remember there was like I think it was called like Bear Tracks or Behind the Beat, where they visited him in Sweden. PJ Axelson went out there. He's the guy who usually the top European scout. He's
Yeah.
he's he's very high on the J20 junior league out in Sweden, which we picked Jelvik, Lysell, Loshmelis, who's at UMass. Jelvik's at BC. There's this one kid at Dubuque in the USHL. What's his name? Kostadinsky. He'll be at BC next year. And then the kid I mentioned earlier who was playing with Denvoyer at Moncton, Luke Johansson, who I really like. He's a good defensive shutdown guy, shuts down everything. So very physical as well.
Oh, Mel, I know you specifically wanted to touch on this. Fraser Minton. Obviously, he just got to Providence. Damn, we haven't even talked about Zellers, Minton, any of these guys either. But like out of the guys we picked up at the deadline, is there one out of maybe the three Werners, Zellers, and Minton that excites you the most?
Yeah, I watched one game of Zellers in person once when he was with Shattuck, and I barely remember anything. But I remember he was good. They played like it was funny actually. They were playing against Dean Letourneau with St. Andrews, which is hilarious. It's the PHC, the Prep Hockey Conference, which was at Warrior, where the Bruins practice. And he was with Shattuck, and that team was dominant. They won like nationals and everything. He was good. But now with Green Bay, he's just been electric. He's just a goal scorer. That's what he is. Not too super big, but he scores goals. The question is, does his size translate to the NCAA next year? And the thing is, he's still 18. Like he doesn't turn 19 until I think like the summer, I think, or something like that.
Wow.
So he'll be a 19-year-old entering the NCAA next year with North Dakota. Fun fact, he was originally committed to BU. But I think he switched to North Dakota because of family stuff. So
good
I
program
think,
either way.
yeah, I think both are great programs. I mean, he's on pace for almost 50 goals. He's going to get he could get around to like 45, 47 right now. He's on pace for in the USHL. So I loved him. I love him, but he is playing junior. I mean, he is playing against like the NTDP, who's not very strong this year. There are some USHL teams that are older and he's produced well against. I mean, his last 10 games, he has 9 goals and 14 points. So it's pretty good.
Well, he heard he was going to Boston, so he started to show out.
Yeah. Well, he's only played 2 games since the trade. The first game, he looked okay, and then the second game he was really good in, even though they lost. But Minton, we'll drive into Minton. He's going to take time, but I think there's an asset there because he played both top power play and top penalty kill last night for Providence. So I think they're still going to try and figure out where he fits in the American League. But there's value to that for sure. I mean, he played like every situation. He didn't have a ton of chances. He's still going to have to fit into the system because he's been with Toronto's system. And it was also weird, I'm sure, playing against his former team. Yeah, this is him in the dub with Kamloops. And then he got traded to Saskatoon. I don't know if it's the middle of the year you're showing. Yeah, was this 23-24 highlights?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, so he went to Saskatoon in the middle of the year after like World Juniors or something. So
yeah, I've seen quite a few takes about this guy. I've seen plenty of Toronto fans pissed that they traded this guy. Now I don't know if like he's boosted a little bit because he was one of those big 3 Toronto prospects, but I've seen people say that, oh my God, what is Toronto doing? And I've seen the flip side of Toronto fans saying like, oh, he projects as he tops out as a 3rd line center either way. So I'm curious to see how he develops in Providence and what kind of player he can turn into be. It seems like he's is he like more of a defensive kind of forward? He's just trying to find his offensive game.
I mean, it seems that way. I mean, they put him on the first penalty kill yesterday, and every time they took a penalty, they took a good amount of penalties yesterday against the Marlies. So they, I think he projects as one. I haven't watched a ton of him yet. We need the issue with, I was trying to watch a ton of film of him with the Marlies. I just couldn't find any because like Flow Hockey was broken the other day and it was making me it was making me annoyed. And I was like, I'm trying to watch this guy. So I can't control that, but watching more Providence games will definitely give us more of a tell of what he's going to become. But I mean, they clearly believe that. The organization thinks that. I think he could be like, third line center. It's still like valuable. I mean, you heard Sweeney say he thinks he is similar to a Coyle type of guy. It's just a left shot. I don't know if you heard him say that in the press conference, I believe. So, and I think that's a fair take, actually. I think that's probably what he would become. And he would kill penalties and I'll be on probably the second power play when he reaches that ceiling and becomes a player. So you just hope that's what he becomes, and they just have to develop him correctly down there.
Was he the captain of Team Canada as well at the World Juniors?
I can look. He might have been. I know he was a captain of Kamloops, and then he got traded last season.
Oh, traded your captain. It's in
man,
that's a theme.
Yeah, he was the captain of Kamloops, and then they traded him to Saskatoon for assets, which happens a lot in the CHL, actually, believe it or not.
David said a lot of Toronto fans I saw would rather have dealt Cowan.
It's interesting because Cowan's produced more, but I feel like his skating's odd. His skating is just he's hunched over a lot. He does have a good shot. Both players have a really good shot, which is valuable in my opinion. So those are two big assets that I think we need another prospect that has a good shot. I think Minton's got that. If you look at both of his NHL goals, I think they're off pretty good shots. So that's
I'm excited.
Valuable.
I know we lost, obviously some core guys and Coyle, Carlo, Frederick, you name them. But you got some good prospects. Like I think Zellers for me. I think Zellers is my favorite. Minton's a close second. I just like his size. I like his game. I like you were saying, his defensive structure. He seems like he's gonna fit into this team. And it's just fun to have young guys to really root for again. Instead of, hearing like Lysell and Merkulov and people calling them a bust and yada yada. It gets so.
It feels like we've been hyping up the same prospects here for the last couple of years. It's nice to have some new guys coming in here,
Yeah, out of all the guys they got, Minton's probably the closest, even though I think he needs some time. Like he'll be a call-up guy for sure next year, like up and down, I bet. Like he played a good amount of games for Toronto this year. And he scored twice, I think. So he's definitely got NHL experience, which is valuable. He just gets a little streaky at times, but it's his first year pro. It's going to happen. You're going to need to be patient with him. But he's definitely the closest out of all the guys for sure. I mean, with Zellers, he's in junior, so he is expected to dominate. I mean, he's like the second best player in the USHL, I think, this year. Maybe the best. I don't know. But he is transitioning to one of the harder college hockey conferences, the NCHC, next year. So it's going to be interesting where they put him, like which power play unit they put him on. I know they have Sasha Boisvert, who's a Blackhawks prospect on North Dakota, and he was probably their best. It was the top rookie in that conference, unanimously voted the other day. So it's going to be interesting where they play him, Zellers, with the Fighting Sioux is what they call them. I think it's interesting. It's interesting. They have you should look up their arena. It's crazy. Since North Dakota's facilities are nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. I forget what Mike Grinnell from Spit and Chicklets. I forget what his series is when he goes to college hockey rinks.
Chicklets University, I think it is.
Chicklets University. When he went to North Dakota, I think it was like the first or second episode that he did that. They were showing that training room that they have that like changes the elevation, air, and stuff. It's
insane,
crazy.
Yeah,
and I feel like no wonder a lot of junior kids are starting to or at least more than in the past, are starting to pick NCAA. I think they see that the league itself is getting better, the competition is getting better, the facilities like we saw at UND, they're getting better.
Well, now the CHL kids can go there because of that rule. So everyone, the player pool is so much bigger now with that rule. So everyone's going to want to go now.
Yeah. Let me see here. Two Pad Stack said Zellers is instantly in the B's top 3 prospects in his opinion.
I'll say Sellers too. Like all the highlights you see of his goals are like obscene. Like if it's like some insane breakaway or shootout goal, or he's using his speed and blasting by a guy and getting a shot, or
He
he's
finds
goalie,
finds the right areas, which is important because there are some
He's
guys
got
that just somehow can do that, and he does that. So that's important.
He's got a nose for offense. I don't know if you were here earlier too when we were talking to Marcus about bad timing, because we were talking about Marchand in the sense that he just has his Sam Adams beer that came out and he had his coffee that just came out. I don't know if you saw. I was looking up some Fraser Minton stuff when the trade went down, and about 2 days before he was traded, the Toronto Maple Leafs put a little promo video of him in Toronto playing hockey with little kids, like on rinks around town.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, everybody's cursed.
Yeah, he's he's I like Minton. He's gonna be fun. All these guys are gonna need some time, but it's valuable to have him. And then someone said Zeller's a top 3 Bruins prospect. I mean, it's possible. I think we really have to wait till next year to value him that high because he's playing in junior. He's not playing NCAA yet.
Fair.
And if he produces next year with North Dakota, that's big because the NCHC is a very hard conference, and he'll be 19. And I don't know if you know, like for example, like Jackson Blake with Carolina. He played for North Dakota. He was drafted out of Minnesota high school and played 1 year junior, I think, and then went to North Dakota and then dominated for a year or two. And if he's able to do that, like that's big.
Really quick, can we pause on this jersey?
Oh yeah, junior jerseys are hilarious.
That is so sick. I need that. That's so funny. That's amazing.
I don't know if so another prospect is this brings me into this. Chris Pelosi with Quinnipiac. Last year he played for Sioux Falls in the USHL, and they had a promo that went like viral called the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs. And it was awesome. And like I know like Aaron Judge even was like, "Oh, this is cool. I want to get one for my dog," because he has a dog that looked just like it. And it was awesome. I remember watching it. I was like, "This is sick," and it was really cool. All those junior teams usually have those promos to get like It's a good way to get fans in the building. Basically, it's a good sponsor thing too.
Is this what you're talking about? Let's see if this is. I don't know if I can.
So that's this year. That's this year's. But yes, it's similar.
Oh, look at them. That's so funny. No way.
Yeah, that's this year's thing. But they changed like the whole logo, and it just says the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs, and you can like bring in your dog and everything. It's hilarious.
Oh, right here. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I love that. You know what that looks like? That looks like one of our EASHL jerseys. We would make that on NHL.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Wasn't there a team in the AHL that had a SpongeBob jersey? Or am I making that up?
Oh, it's probably junior. A lot of junior. I think actually the team that Minton played for, Saskatoon, I think they did. I know. Oh, you know who did it? You know who wore him? Bedard. Bedard wore it with the Regina Pats.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. He had a game where he was wearing like a SpongeBob jersey, and it was hilarious.
That's ridiculous.
All right, dude. I wish we could keep you on for longer, but we do have 2 Pad Stack coming for the third period. Before I let you go, I want to pull your profile up really quick so everybody who's watching can see what we're talking about. But if you want to plug all your stuff, floor is yours, buddy. Yeah,
there's me. Ivan with the last Ivans and L because it is. So occasionally write on my Substack there. It's actually, you can type in www.cohenshockey.org and it should come up. And then trying to think what else. And then my Instagram is cohens.hockey for my video content I do sometimes here and there. And that just came to an end with the prep hockey season going just finishing. And that's about it. That's about it, I think. Yeah, I haven't really done that in a while. I've been so busy with my video stuff. So, but I'll get into that soon, probably with the draft coming up because we were gonna have the high pick. So
yeah. Well, dude, you're crushing it. I'm excited to see what you have in store for the future.
Thank you.
Let's see. I was saving this comment for last because I didn't want to pull it up in the middle of us talking, but Mark came in here and he said, "Great job on your first stream, Robert."
Thank you.
Couldn't agree more, man. You
Thanks,
killed
Mark.
it. You're literally one of the best follows on Twitter and
Appreciate
elsewhere
the
too.
kind words.
Yeah. So
Same to you guys.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, anytime you want, man, let us know. You can come on. Hopefully we can have you on again and talk more, because I feel like we could go on for hours and we still have things that we haven't even touched on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be starting something soon. I'm trying to get it all figured out with whatever it is, StreamYard. I might pick your brain about it as well, because I got to figure some stuff out. So
Yeah,
it would be about prospects, other school hockey around here. So it'll be awesome.
It sounds awesome.
I'll keep you guys updated about it.
Yeah, man.
Sure,
Any questions you have, anything you need, shoot me a DM. I'll give you my number after this too, and you can shoot me a text.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll help you out with whatever you need.
All right. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Hey, see you, Robert.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Robert.
Thanks for having me on. See ya.
All right, that was Robert Chalmers for the second period. I'm sending Ace the link right now. Let me see. But dude, I'm telling you, if you're not following Robert, you're missing out. He's one of the best follows that you can have.
If it wasn't for him, I would truly have absolutely no idea what's happening in Providence and in the world of prospects. Like he's like my one thread. I only have to follow him. He's my one thread for all the Bonner League and prospect content.
Yeah, like and like I would never know how to pronounce. I can't even say it, Caleb.
Dude, even the Swedish names too. He said like Lochmalis, that the prospect they have at like what UMass or wherever the hell he is.
Yeah.
No, he was nailing some of those pronunciations.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have marble mouth, dude, with regular words, regular names.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Oh, I almost just fell. Holy shit.
Oh, damn it. I was on a different tab. I wish I was watching it.
Oh my God. So Ace is coming on, Ace from Two Pet Stack. And speak of the devil, before I even bring him in, before I even bring this man in, you guys are going to be blown away with his setup. I got my plain wall behind me, vacuums, shoes everywhere.
I'm sitting underneath the sun.
You're sitting underneath a portal to heaven or wherever you want to go. We bring in Ace, and Ace's backdrop is just something that I wish I had in my everyday life. Look at that thing and look at this man. Ace, what's going on?
What's up going, man?
What's up,
How's
dude?
it going, guys? Yo,
What's
shout out to
going on?
Rob. It was great to have him on and hear some of his perspective.
Yeah.
Such a great follow. Definitely make sure you guys are following him.
Mhm.
Appreciate the invite, guys. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
it's been a long time coming.
Who is
I'll
that
drink
on
to
your
that.
hat?
It's my daughter's youth hockey team
Oh, hell yeah.
that I coach
it-
for.
How's the team doing?
Well, we just secured the top seed in the division.
President's
playoffs.
Cup.
Playoffs begin not this weekend, but next weekend. So we're going for the cup.
There you go. If the Bruins can't make it, I'm glad your daughter's team made it.
Oh yeah. I mean, what? I mean, I originally, after the trade deadline, I was saying to myself, every loss the Bruins have right now is a win. But then it's so much fun to watch them win. It really is. It's electric.
I know.
Those two games are some of the best hockey I've seen them play in like 12 months. And I'm like, all right, I'm locked in. Let's do that Cinderella run. Let's get weird.
You know,
Dude,
I
oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I thought that I was stronger than I am because I watched this dumpster fire of a team all year, and I go, yeah, I'm fine. I don't care. Miss the playoffs, sell everybody. I watched my favorite players get traded. I'm fine. It's okay. All it took was that one win against Florida the other night, and I'm like, I think I'm back in. I'm ready to get hurt again. Like they're pulling me back in, man.
Dude, the thing is, it's like, and I don't really understand how it kind of happened this way, but we're in the race. We're like very firmly in the race, and I don't understand how. I don't get it.
Well, it seems like every time the Bruins go on a slump, every single other team on the Eastern Conference, bubble for the wild card spots also go on a complete slump. And I'm like, they're gonna fail their way into a playoff spot. I don't understand it. Like, I don't know.
They're gonna fall backwards into the
Mind
playoffs.
boggling.
And I remember too, Sully and I were talking about
See you, Mark. Thank you for joining, man.
I remember Sully and I were talking about at the trade deadline. It was funny how I think at the time Ottawa might have had 2 more points than Boston. Yet
Mhm.
Boston was in a total seller mode, and Ottawa's acquiring guys to make their playoff push. And it was just interesting how like it's like the world has been falling, but the Bruins have been on the cusp of a playoff spot. And even at trade deadline, I'm talking like there's no way in hell this team has any shot of making the playoffs. And there's still a lot of hockey left, so they could still firmly miss it. But after those first 2 games, I mean, I didn't expect that the Bruins were going to be able to figure out how to play hockey after losing half their team. McAvoy's hurt. Lindholm's not coming back. They've got limited leaders in the locker room. They just introduced 5 new guys in the team, and suddenly now is the time they figure out how to play hockey. Like, what the hell's going on?
What made me laugh the most, and it was like, I think it was a tweet from Bees Memes, which fantastic follow. I'm sure everybody knows about
Great
him already.
account.
But
Yeah.
he's like, oh, Matty Potter did so well in Providence that the Bruins decided to bring Providence up to play alongside him.
He had another banger the other day too. Actually, why am I looking it up on my phone? I'll look it up on the computer so I can pull it up. But he's a great account. He's so funny.
So
Let's see.
The Bruins are a little too. Maybe the Bruins are in sell mode and they do want to miss the playoffs. That's why Matty P's down in Providence.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is like I was saying this before they won these 2 games. I'm like, right now the Bruins have like a 2.5% chance of winning the lottery. Like,
Yeah.
who's not to say that they'll do a little like rigging for the original 6 franchise? I mean, it worked for Chicago, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chicago definitely had a little bit of a little, nudge,
Little act of
nudge,
God.
wink,
Little
wink.
wink, wink. Yeah, we'll help
Gary
you out.
Bettman. Oh, it was right here. Let me see. I gotta pull this up in the stream. Again, big bad bees memes on Twitter. This guy right here. You killed the man, but not the idea.
Oh my god, so good.
He's the best.
Have you seen that sports Twitter account that turns sports moments, or like it'll find a sports moment and it'll compare it to like a painting, like a Renaissance
Well, the
painting?
Renaissance, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that's
so
eerily
good.
reminiscent of Big Bad Bees memes tweet there.
I got to apologize. That Linus Ullmark glove save, that was definitely on me because I was in a Discord. I'm like, Linus is kind of playing like shit a little bit, and now he's probably gonna go sicko mode because I just said he's playing like shit, and like
That was
no
an
less
unbelievable
than
save.
45 seconds later, he hits that glove save. I'm like, well,
I wanna ask you, as the resident goalie, of course, what was up with Swayman in that first period?
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have a good track record with playing multiple games in a row. He's always been in a system where he has that backup, that Linus Ullmark right next to him that can play that second game. And his record's not good, like on the second half of not even just back-to-backs, but playing 2 games in a row and especially 3 games in a row. He's not used to that pressure there, but especially on that last, I don't know, maybe not the last one, but the one where he was supposed to go post to post and he just fell on his rear end and didn't move. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. That because that third one, like you said, there was a debate going on between us and then people in the chat about if his foot slipped, if he wasn't trying, if he gave up or whatever. And then 20 seconds later, they dump the puck in and he kind of like half-ass ring it around the boards. The puck stays in the zone, and that's the 4th goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that just a nuts Corpusalo save right there? Or is that just
It was. Yeah.
It was.
Holy smokes.
Oh no! Wait. Oh, that was him and Peak. They collaborated on that save. The overhead replay will show it.
Ace, I don't know if you were in the stream when Davis, Mel, and I were talking about this, but as the resident goalie, like Mel said, I kind of want to get your perspective on this goal, particularly the 3rd goal that he let up.
Yes, I was hoping you would do this. Let's get the
Yeah.
lab.
Let's see it.
Let's see. So
He's putting the helmet on.
I'm gonna put it at the 2.5. Turn the volume off because it's brutal when it gets there. But so obviously right here, right? Puck goes down to the sound is up. Puck goes down to Kachuk, but he drops and you can see right here, like his left foot is kind of far off the post, and it looks like he's caught. It looks like he gets caught right here.
Yeah. So what happens is he goes down. He's reading a shot there for one reason or another, and then he's overcommitted, and then he tries to adjust, and he can't get his balance back, and he just falls over. Like that's something I do as like a shitty beer league goalie. So I don't. There's
You're
no
not
real
making
excuse
you're
for-
not making 825 or whatever the hell.
Right?
Yeah. It can't happen. I mean, there's not much of an angle there. All you have to do is RVH there on the post, and you're fine. Which I think is what he was thinking, and then the pass came across so quick that he
Mhm.
wasn't expecting it.
And correct me, like again, I've never played goalie outside of street hockey, so I have no idea. But did he not kind of drop super late? Like, boom, Kachuk gets the pass.
So
He's
in some
still up,
situations, like
and
when it's
now he
right there
goes
on the
down.
side, you
Uh-huh.
do go down technically, but they call it the RVH. So that left pad that he has there is going to be right vertical against the post, and his shoulder is going to be holding the post there. And then
Okay.
the other pad is horizontal on the ice. But he didn't quite get there in time, and he got caught kind of like between those two plays. And then I don't know. I think he like his brain short circuited or something. I mean, it's easy for us to criticize, right? Because
Right.
it's happening so fast.
My theory, Sully, if you restart it, my theory is it looked like he kicked the post because you can kind of see the net. You can see the net move, and I don't know if maybe his foot slipped off the post and he couldn't push.
Oh, you can see the net move.
But even then, you don't need the post to push off of, right? I mean, you have your edges there. The ideal is that you just push off with the ice. But I don't know. I just think he's overworked right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe we're just overthinking it, and he just gave up. I still think there's a chance he was going. You saw him throw the stick out. There's a chance he wanted that number one on ESPN top 10 tomorrow. Like we were saying, like you do in knee hockey. Oh, let me sell this way so I can make the nice dive and save. I don't know. At that point, it was what 2-1. I mean, the shots were like 15-4. Like make it a little interesting on yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't. Again, Ace. Actually, this is cool because we've never had a resident goalie on the pod, so like we're really picking the brain right now.
All right. Well, I
How
just want to make
much-
sure nobody thinks I'm like an actually good goalie. I mean,
I
I
mean,
get sunburns from the red light behind me.
if somebody could take a screenshot of what this panel looks like right now, I think they would agree. But like how much of him missing training camp do you think had to do with his just? I mean,
it's
season as a
definitely going to be
whole?
something, right? I mean,
Right.
when you have a workflow that you're so accustomed to and you deviate from that even a little bit, especially in such a tumultuous season where your role is significantly changing. I mean, like I said, Swayman's always had to battle for every minute that he has whenever he's at the NHL level, at least. I mean, the last time he was the bona fide number one was with UMaine, and now he suddenly is anointed the guy, and he doesn't have anybody pressuring him. I mean, it brings me back to like when we had Tuukka Rask and Tim Thomas, right? These two guys are always battling. There's always that pressure behind them that if you didn't play at your top level, the other guy is going to take over. And Korpisalo comes in, and obviously he's a former starter himself, but he's a reclamation project. His reputation is basically shot. The Bruins had to take him in order to facilitate a trade to get a first-round pick in Linus Ullmark. There was no threat to Jeremy Swayman for his job. So I think it was a combination of the no training camp without getting your reps in. Who knows? I mean, they said that he was like training at BU or something during the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, NCAA is great. It's not NHL caliber. There's a big differential between NCAA and the NHL caliber of play. But I think at this point now, enough time's gone by that shouldn't be playing an impact anymore. But certainly, I think it applied to his rough start to the season, which put the Bees behind the 8 ball, and they never really have kind of been able to claw their way back.
Yeah, I was in the beginning of the year, I was really hesitant to say anything, obviously, because of all the drama surrounding his contract talks, the fact that he didn't have dev camp, the fact that all the drama and the rumors and everything was probably getting to him mentally, which is fair. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that like he's soft for letting that get to him. That's a lot of noise coming at you as a young kid.
Yeah.
But I was willing to give him like a month to a month and a half to be like, okay, like this is kind of your dev camp. This is your training camp. But after that month and a half, it's like, now it's go time. Now you kind of have to lock in at least a little bit. And he's done kind of everything but, and it's a little nerve wracking.
Well, what I'm kind of surprised at is that they haven't gone to Korpisalo more. Because I'm going to say honestly, my 7th player award picks, which is maybe a little controversial. I think Jonas Corposalo has to be in that conversation
I think
because
that's fair.
the expectation level was so low for this guy. People thought that the Ottawa Senators would have to pay in order to get him off of their books. And yet he's come in here and he's proven, as far as I'm concerned, that he can still be a serviceable goaltender. I was actually thinking that he may be one of the names that the Boston Bruins dealt out for a team that may be looking for goaltending help into the postseason. So I think that Korpisalo has done a good job and he deserves more starts, especially with Swayman's stats on, second game in a row, third game in a row this season so far.
Yeah. Mel,
surprised
I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Sorry.
I'm surprised Korpisalo didn't start the game tonight. I thought for sure we were going to see him earlier than we ended up seeing him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a result of just the fact that the Bruins strung together 2 wins against really good teams with Swayman and net, and it's ride the hot hand. I mean, like I said, I think the best thing for this franchise right now is to lose games just so we can maximize our opportunity to getting a better pick. Because right now I think it's like a 8.25 going into this game % chance of making the postseason according to Money Puck.
Yeah, I saw it. It doesn't look good, and I know because we were talking about it earlier as well. And like, I'm never gonna root for the Bruins to lose, but I
Right.
do have to admit, it is like, I'm talking like they've been playing great hockey for like a month. The last 5 days have been really fun for me.
They have been fun.
Like watching them beat Tampa in that game against Florida the other night. So I think part of it is like me giving myself some sort of false hope or like, yes, like they can do this and they can get into the playoffs. We will have playoff hockey back, but I feel like I have to grab myself a little bit, especially after watching this game tonight. I mean, I know that it's 5-3 on paper, 29-20 shots don't look horrible, but shots were just 22-8. Like at the end of the second or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
This team still has a lot of holes in a lot of places they need to improve. And you do have to think that having a potential lottery pick could help plug some future holes for this team down the line.
I mean, Hagen's Boston Bruin. That sounds pretty good to me.
He's playing right in your backyard. I mean, hell, I mean, it's who the top 3, who him, Misa, and
There's some other guy that was just said to be
Is it
number 1 in
Schaefer
Kronman's. Yeah, Schaefer or something like that.
yeah.
I've been the whole draft lottery and like the prospect watch has been something so out of my purview for the last decade that it's like a different change of pace for me now to try to educate myself on these things.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, I feel like I don't even really know how it goes. Do teams usually, like, I know like in the NBA, for example, there's been examples of teams who have gone from like 10-1. Does that happen in the NHL? I don't know. I've never really had to focus on prospects. I never really had to look at mock drafts because either the Bruins are picking towards the end of the first or they just don't have a pick outright because Sweeney's traded it. So it's like we're in uncharted waters here coming up with this draft.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no like cool like hashtag thing that you can say for any of these prospects. So it's no like, fall for Hall or fail for Nail or anything like that. So
Well, what did Davis say earlier? It was like miserable for Misa,
miserable for Misa, horrible for Hagens.
suck for Schaefer or whatever.
Yeah, suck for Schaefer.
Oh my God, Linus is cooking right now.
Yeah, he's dialed in.
Yeah, dude, we were talking that game he had. Was it against the Rangers? That 48 save game he just had a couple days ago?
Mhm.
I don't remember who it was. But he was dialed in for that one because I remember I accidentally stumbled across. I've interacted with too many Senators posts, and I blame Sully for that.
Yeah, sorry.
Again, your petition for Brady to Boston.
Oh,
But because
God.
I was
Yeah.
reading the replies and seeing what people were saying, I'm now like getting
The
Senators
recommended
fans-
for you. all
Yeah,
that crap.
exactly.
Yeah.
On my feed,
Sorry,
it drives
Mel.
me crazy. And a couple games ago, before Olmark's previous game where he had almost 50 saves, Senators fans weren't too happy with him. I guess he had been struggling a little bit the last couple weeks. He wasn't playing that well, and then he was totally dialed in last night. And then it's funny because then you get to, or 2 nights ago, whenever that game was, you get to this game tonight, and I think we were saying in the first period, the score was 3-1 or 4-1 at that point. But I believe Swayman still had a higher save percentage because the Bruins had like, I don't know. I mean, the Senators had like 16 shots to the Bruins 4 or whatever the hell it was. But he had that crazy save in the second that I guess is Ace's fault because you jinxed it in your Discord. And, and since then, he's been dialed in.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been cooking. I mean, that's like vintage Linus Olmark so far in this second and third period.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
good
ever
on
since
these,
we had the
honestly,
close
for
play.
this Bruins team that I think everyone and their mother counted out. Like at least they're being scrappy. And it would have been easy to kind of just roll over after that first period and when you're down 4-1 and just not not come out. And I think that they've done a good job. I mean, a lot of guys are competing for NHL jobs right now. I mean, you look at, Letary and Hustinidov and Lauko. I mean, obviously, I think Lauko's an NHLer. He's established that by now, but everybody's trying to figure out where they stand with this org right now, and it's kind of good on them as far as I'm concerned.
And that's exactly it too, because I mean, if you look at this team post trade deadline, I mean, losing Carlo, I mean, Brezzo's a dime a dozen, Coyle, Marchand, Frederick. I mean, all the guys that they sent out, it's what you just said. It would be easier for them to roll over and to just give up on the season. And I think as fans, most of us kind of accepted, all right, this team is going absolutely nowhere. But at least as of this morning, you could have, or at least as of 6:59, you could have said that nobody told this team that, because the way that they played against Tampa and against Florida, I mean, this team is still in the thick of it. So that's why, what Sully, we were talking about, what we want this team to do here for the rest of the year, if it's better for them to make playoffs or to miss and go for the pick. I don't know. It's going to be interesting the way that they perform down the rest of the season. Do I think they're still going to be playing consistently as well as they have been the last couple nights? I don't think so. I mean, they're showing it here against Ottawa. This game's been pretty up and down, but I don't know. Shit for Schaefer. Miserable for Misa.
Well, I mean, isn't the next game on their schedule Tampa? I'm pretty sure it's Tampa, and then they go on a West Coast road trip to end the month, which I have a feeling is going to kind of be the nail in the coffin while everybody's sleeping. They're just going to go on a losing streak out west.
Yeah, well, so they have the Lightning and then the Sabres at home,
and then they go. And then look at that West Coast road trip. It's long.
And then they have Vegas, San Jose, LA, Anaheim. Then they play Detroit. Then they come home and they play Washington, Montreal, who, look at your list, they're right there on the cusp with Boston.
Could be a big game, maybe. Depends on what we do.
Hurricanes, Sabres. But the good news is they end the year with the Sabres, Devils, Blackhawks, Penguins, and the Devils again. So
and the Devils have been skidding. Skidding.
Did you see the animation? I don't remember who put it out, of every team's their betting odds to make the playoffs, and everybody was going up, and then it was right when Jack Hughes got hurt, and the Devils just plummeted. It immediately turned down, and now they're like obviously amongst the lowest in the league. But I mean, that's interesting. So they do have that 5-game West Coast road trip, which is just a cursed trip for any team living on the East Coast. But then to follow that up, coming home and playing those, the Devils twice, the Sabres, Blackhawks, and then the Penguins in Pittsburgh.
I also kind of wonder if it's maybe compounded or exacerbated by the fact that the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning are so secure in their playoff standing that maybe they're like, oh, the Bruins just sold off. They have no chance. They're going to be a piecemeal team. This is going to be an easy win. And then the scrappy Bruins are like, well, actually, we're still an NHL team, guys. Like, we're still going to be able to put some points on the board.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the preparation and the energy level wasn't there for those two teams. And it'll be interesting to see how the Lightning, answer after getting shut out at home. I think that they had only been shut out one other time all season, and it was by the Detroit Red Wings in Detroit. So the Boston Bruins are the first team to shut them out on home ice, which is pretty interesting.
Hang the banner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Bruins haven't. I thought they won 3 games in a row once this season, but somebody in the chat put, and I can't find it now. It was so long ago, but somebody in the chat put that this would be the first time that the Bruins actually have a 3-game winning streak this season, which I thought they did once before.
I know they have a 3-game losing streak plenty of times. I can tell you.
Yeah.
They had they had a 4-game winning streak to start December. Canadians, Detroit, Blackhawks, and Flyers. 2 of those were overtime wins, but a win's a win regardless. It's 2 points.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the comment right now.
I'm sure you guys already talked about this, but can I just say that Husnudinov has a much needed injection of speed into this line.
Oh,
that
my
guy
God.
has wheels, dude.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, from the deadline, what do you, in your eyes, what was your favorite trade that Sweeney did make?
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be the Coyle trade or the Brazo trade, as far as I'm concerned. I think Carlo was like a good deal for the Bees, but I mean, like, you still gave up a younger guy that's cost controlled and pretty well regarded in the room. So that kind of sucks, but you get that first, and you get that, Fraser Minton has some decent upside as well in a position of need for the Bruins. But I mean, I was saying this in Twitter earlier, like in the Coyle deal specifically, like I kind of feel like Casey Middlestat's a better center than what Charlie Coyle is. Like it would have been a good deal 1-for-1. It would have addressed areas of need for both teams. And then the Bruins get to dip in and get Will Zellers, who instantly, I said it earlier in your stream, he's a top 3 prospect for the Bruins for me instantaneously.
Yeah.
And then you also get a pick on, I mean, I recognize it's a 6th, but I mean,
Still something.
that's a landslide win for Don Sweeney in the Bruins front office.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, you clear Coyle was what, like 5.25, I think. And he had an extra year on his deal. He I hate to say it, but I think he's seen better days in his past.
I understand the move from Colorado's point, because I think Coyle is going to be. I think he's exactly what they needed for the playoffs: a big, heavy third line, 2-way center. But Casey Middlestat, I mean, I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, Ace, when I don't remember who we were talking about it with, but I was talking about how I read an article from The Athletic. I think it was The Athletic. And they're basically asking GMs, around the league, what happened, how did trades materialize around the trade deadline, and basically paraphrasing, but Colorado's GM essentially said that they recognize that Casey Middlestat is the more skilled, talented player than Charlie Coyle, but they just really needed Charlie Coyle's presence. That kind of big physical third line center is what they thought they needed to push him over the top, and they were willing to shill out to get him on their team. So I think that's interesting, because I agree with you. I think Middlestat's the better player. I agree. I think he's more skilled. I think he's more talented, and he's 7 years younger. So that's kind of a home run in my opinion for a rebuilding team, just in a 1-for-1 trade. But then to add this Russian rocket, Zellers as well, and that late pick. I mean, who knows what that 6 is going to turn into? I mean, there's been Hall of Famers drafted in the 5th, just saying. But
I think it would be one thing if Middlestat was like on a 1-year deal or like a rental, but he has term too. And especially with the cap rising for the NHL, he's already scored 3 points in a Bruins uniform.
Yeah.
Like
he's gonna go tonight.
He scored tonight. Yeah. Like it's a fantastic deal. So that's the one that sticks out. The other one, like I mentioned, is the Brazeau deal, which honestly, Justin Brazeau is a castaway as far as I'm concerned. Like, good on him. He put the work in and carved out an NHL career. He earned a spot on a Boston Bruins roster that desperately needed depth scoring. Desperately. And he had that hands, around the net to be that second power play net front guy. And he was able to parlay that into, obviously being pretty well regarded around the league. But there's a reason why it took him so long to get to the NHL. And that's because his skating's not great. He's not a great skater. And he was making his career so far off of his hands in front of the net. And it became abundantly clear. Emily Kaplan of ESPN came out and reported that the Boston Bruins and Justin Brazeau's camp were far apart on a contract extension. And I think it's probably because Boston came out and was like, hey, we'll offer you like $1.25 million for like 1 or 2 years because you're a 4th line, like specialist type player. And Brazeau, which is his right, he scored the points, he got the goals. Let's get the market comparables. And I'm a $4 million guy. I'm a $3.5 million guy. Good on Don Sweeney in the front office for saying, no, you're not. And good on them for saying, Bill Guerin, you screwed us over on the Pat Maroon deal, and you frigged over Charlie McAvoy's shoulder, so you owe us something here. And they were able to get Kuznetsov, who's only 22. Yeah. Dude has wheels, and you're able to get a 4th line player that already has roots in the organization and Jacob Lauko back. Like that, those 2 deals, as far as I'm concerned, were highway robbery for the front office for the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it was Mark Diber who tweeted that in Brazeau's case, this is a guy who 18 months ago was on an AHL, ECHL contract. Yeah. And now you're trading him for Chris Davis was on here earlier saying that in his mind, he would rather, he think Lauko's a better player than Brazeau outright. At least what you're getting with Lauko in terms of that shot of electricity, right? He's going in the corners, he's making the plays nobody else wants to play. And then on top of that, you're getting the Russian Rocket, who I was alluding to earlier, who has looked really exciting these last couple games. The fact that he's only 22, his own entries are insane. He's going balls to the wall, and another thing too I like about these players that they're getting back is regardless of, if they're first, second, third, and fourth line players, it seems like they all have something to prove. I mean, Casey Middlestat now is on his third team. He's left Buffalo. Colorado shipped him off in a trade that everybody feels like Colorado got the worser of the two players, I'll say. Husnudinov, I mean, he was not getting a lot of minutes in Minnesota. Now he's over here in Boston getting a chance to play and show what he can do. So I like that standpoint for it. But I don't know. Like, it feels like I like the new juice we have in here. Sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah, the Bruins just pulled Korpisalo with 3.5 to go.
Ace, how much time is left on are you behind at all?
Oh yeah, I'm at like 4:20 right now.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm like a minute ahead of you. Yeah.
I did want to mention this.
Don't worry about spoilers. Jump into it. Yeah.
I wanted to mention this really quick. Tom Kaludi, Bruins breakdown on Twitter at T Kaludi. He mentioned a tweet from Ty regarding Jeremy Swayman and Korpisalo. Ty Anderson tweeted, Bruins goaltender Jeremy Swayman came into play with 3 wins and losses in 6 of the last 8 in an .888 save percentage in 11 games this season. That marked his 3rd straight start. That 4-goal period dropped it down to an .882 save percentage. So Swayman's not very hot on his, 3 starts in a row, which I don't know. I think for me, like, if you're the Bruins, you paid Swayman as the number 1. You told him he's the number 1. What are you gonna do? Not play him like a number 1? I get it. I understand, but there's a conundrum.
When Ace was talking earlier about how he's always had that pressure behind him, right? When Omar was behind him or whatnot. Like, do you think maybe with him it's just like a competitiveness thing? Like, do you think the Bruins aren't really playing? Everybody has been alluding to the Bruins not really playing for much right now because clearly they don't have a very talented roster, despite how wild this wild card race is. I don't know if maybe he's just not dialed in. Really all year with everything that's been going on. Maybe I don't know if there's anything there, but it's interesting. I'm hopeful that like years from now we look back at Swayman's numbers and this season is the one anomaly that sticks out as like, something happened there. And I still think that there's going to be a pretty good chance that's what's going to happen. But man, if he comes back next year and he has a repeat of this season, I mean, we're talking about some of these bad contracts on this team. I mean, I
honestly don't see that happening. I mean, I think it was like a perfect storm for the Boston Bruins. I mean, you have the Swayman holdout. You have Jim Montgomery already like talking to his realtor in St. Louis, already planning his move. You have Joe Sacco coming in, who I don't think is qualified to be an NHL head coach as far as I'm concerned. And you have, all these, you have Lindholm and McAvoy going down. So your top 2 defensemen go down as well. Like all of these things just compound together to make just a terrible, terrible experience defensively. And I just think it was kind of like a perfect storm for the Bruins to deal with a lot of adversity, and they just weren't able to quite overcome it. So I think the mentality of just, hitting the reset button is not a bad call for them and just regrouping next year because you already have the foundational pieces, right? I say Swayman rallies. We're going to have ideally, hopefully Lindholm and McAvoy back. We're going to have a lot of cap space to supplement the forward core. So I do think that the Bruins will be much more competitive and they will punch their ticket to return to the playoffs next year. I'll stick my neck out and I'll say book that.
I agree with that too. Like, I feel like not enough people are remembering that we've been without Hampus Lindholm for basically the entire season.
And I think Hampus Lindholm was the best player on the Bruins before he went down.
Yeah, he was playing so well, and now you're without McAvoy too, and it's like it's if you're really going to make a push for the playoffs, it's going to be an uphill battle for the next however many games we have left. 17 games after tonight, maybe. I'm not good at math, but I think that's what it's at.
Linus Ullmark just tried to goalie goal us.
Yeah, he did. I was waiting for you to mention that. I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, old habits never die.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a chance. I mean,
this loss doesn't define the rest of the year, but it would have helped.
Oh, I was talking specifically about this game. I mean, they're only down 2 goalies pulled.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, this was a big one though. This one stings obviously after the last couple games you watched the Bruins play, just effort wise, mentality wise. You were hoping they would have came out. I mean, they came out flat as hell. They didn't wake up until the end of the second. And when every single game is essentially life or death, that sucks.
No. All right. Well, Twitter spoiled me, so that'll do it. Honestly, like I said, team's best off for losing. And honestly, I have a few friends that are Senators fans. I know you guys don't have any friends that are Senators fans based on your Twitter content lately, but good for them.
Why? What happened?
You enlighten me.
I can't believe Brady Tkachuk boarded a future teammate earlier this game. That was unbelievable.
What a jerk. That's going to be an awkward conversation when he comes to Boston next year.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right. If Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand can take photos together on the ice,
I was right about to say that.
Yeah.
A couple of scumbags, I think is how we put it. That hurts so much, man. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think it's not the nail in the coffin on the playoff hopes, but I mean,
it's like you open the toolbox and you grab the hammer.
Yeah, and you meant to grab the wrench, and it's like I can't hammer the nail in with. I can, but it's not going to be effective.
I sent out a tweet earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I have a house full of girls here. It's me, my wife, my 2 daughters. I got to say, just for the Bruins' future, now that they traded away Charlie Coyle, really glad they brought in Hustadinov because that's a handsome fella, and I'm a straight dude. Like, that is a handsome fella.
He's a good-looking dude.
He's got some nice hair, too. I noticed in the I was going to mention it when Robert was here. His first interview with the Bruins in his locker when I think I tweeted the clip when he was being asked about like what he knows about Boston. You played in Boston. He's like, yeah, I played in Boston a couple months ago. And the guy was kind of like, oh, like you mean Providence? And you play the Providence Bruins? And he was like, no, I was in the Wild. I was in the NHL. And the guy was like, oh, sorry.
Dude, that guy must have felt so awkward to be like,
he probably hasn't had a lick of sleep since that night. He's probably been staring at his ceiling.
That's hilarious.
Damn, that save from Allmark really just kind of, I don't want to say turn the tide of the game, but
yeah, I think it was already 4-1 at that point.
No, that would have put it to a 1-goal game.
Really?
Yeah, it would have made it 5-4, I think. Or yeah, like 6-4 or something like that. I don't know.
Had to say something.
5-4.
You had to.
I did. Yeah, it's my fault. I'm embracing the tank. I'm embracing the tank, guys.
Yeah. I'm almost. I don't know. I think I have to wait maybe a week.
I mean, they got
3 more games.
Tampa next, right?
If they lose to Tampa, then yeah. If they lose to Tampa, yeah.
If they lose to Tampa, then we're back on the Calder Cup rush, baby. Send everybody back down.
Yeah, Pasa.
Well, Hustadinov's already AHL playoff eligible, so send him down. And
is he?
Vinny Lettieri is their leading point scorer this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, load it up. I mean, they're gonna run into the Hershey Bears and inevitably lose because the Hershey Bears win every Calder Cup ever. But
who is it? They're the affiliate of Washington, right?
Correct. Yeah. But the thing is, they have. I think it's like the most historic AHL franchise. They've been around for like 70 years, longer than most NHL franchises have been.
The Hershey Bears.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So they go out and they acquire like all the AHL veterans and sign them to AHL only deals to try to load up their AHL team instead of like treating it exclusively like a development program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're always so good. And that barn in Hershey is always like full too. Like those guys in Hershey, Pennsylvania love their Bears hockey. And it would be awesome if more AHL franchises were like that.
Yeah, they have like a legit fan base. It's cool.
They won back-to-back in 08, 09, and then 09 and 010, and then they did it again in 22, 23, 23, 24. Shut up. It's been a long stream.
So the current Bears club has played in the American Hockey League since the 1938-1939 season.
Kenny Kaminsky comes in and says Merritt Hustadinov only waiver exempt 3 or 4 more games. Will be interesting to see what the Bruins do. So we could see him get sent down too. Damn. Well, Bruins. Ottawa extends their wild card lead. They're at 75 points now. Columbus is actually they played tonight. What was the result of that?
2 games at hand on Boston too. Not that they were going to catch Ottawa, but oof.
Did Columbus win tonight?
take a look around the league here.
Yeah, let's check.
It
Columbus.
looks like they are playing against Vegas. That's on
Yep.
your overlay here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Columbus lost. They got shut out 4-0. So at least that's a plus.
Rangers are currently winning 1-0
Against Brezzo.
Against the Minnesota Brazos.
Yeah.
Philly's not really. They don't really have a shot, but they're tied with Tampa right now in a shootout, actually. But yeah, I don't know. Ace, before we end this stream, do you have any predictions or anything else that you want to bring up?
Predictions: Bruins are going to miss the playoffs. Doesn't take a mathematician to tell you that. They're going to miss.
Crushing my hope and dreams.
They're not going to win the lottery either. The Bruins are going to select anywhere between like 12 and like 14. Hopefully, Don Sweeney can bring in somebody that actually knows how to draft to help him out here. And I think this offseason is going to be a lot of fun, pretty fascinating. It's a pivotal one for the Boston Bruins. I mean, with the amount of cap space that they have, I mean, what does it look like? I think it's like somewhere of like 29 million or something like that that they have to play with this offseason. I mean, they have important decisions to make about Mason Laura. You got to extend the kid. He's already proven himself. What does that contract look like? And then there's a couple other kids. I think Husnadinov's due for a new deal. Let's pull up Puckpedia real quick. Other things that they've got to figure out. Morgan Geekie, what are they going to do with Geeks? What are they going to do with Jacob Lauko? Does Cole Koepke deserve an NHL contract to stick around in Boston? Do you let him walk? These are all like the defense and the goaltending is already all sorted. Everything's going to have to be on the offense, and it's going to be really fascinating to watch. And I can't wait for it.
This is like the first summer. There's actually going to be stuff for us to talk about. Like it's kind of there's going to be stuff happening this summer. It's not just going to be like spin the wheel. Let's give your Bruins Mount Rushmore. Like
yeah, last summer was
like
so
Bruins.
Brutal. Last summer was so brutal. We talked about Swayman every single episode.
There was nothing else to do. It was like do we talk about Swayman for the 5th week in a row, or do we take a week off? Let's take a week off and then talk about Swayman again next week.
Yeah,
it's all right, dude. Like we switched to like bi-weekly episodes, and we were still talking about Swayman every episode. You can't get around it. What else are you gonna talk about?
Yeah. All right. Well, to end the stream, I figured we would do this. We'll do it one time. We won't fiddle around with it. Let's see. Share screen. This is going to be a one-time click. We're going to do the draft lottery simulator to see where the Bruins end up.
Let's go.
So, ready?
Yeah.
3. Oh, let me get rid of this ad. 3, 2, 1. Boston number 9. I'm okay with that.
Can I tell you?
I'm okay with
this
it.
The other day. I'm not even kidding. For about 15 minutes, I repeatedly kept hitting sim lottery. Not once did I get Boston in the top 5.
All right, hang on. Let's count. So one try, we got 9. Let's do it until we get 10 or until we get the number 1 pick. All right, ready? Second time, 9. Third time, 10. 4, 9, 5, 9.
All right, we're just destined for the 9th pick.
Oh, 6.
Holy shit!
6, number 1.
Okay.
Bruins get the number 1 draft pick of the 2025 NHL entry draft. Let's go.
Oh, I can get behind that.
I'm at 30 right now. Still no luck on my end.
We're gonna leave the stream and Ace is gonna be in here alone, just looking on the
I'm just slamming this button, fellas. I'm just slamming it.
Just smashing it.
Oh, we got up to 2 there. Wow. All right. Oh, that was fun, guys. I really appreciate the invite. Wish we got a dub for the Bees, and yeah, appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, dude. Anytime. You wanna take this minute to plug your stuff?
Yeah, sure. So if you don't know, I host the Two Pat Sack podcast, another Bruins podcast. I mean, there's enough of us out there, but we release episodes every week. Me, my co-hosts, I have Burge the goalie, Jake Reiser on. We try to cover all the same stuff you guys cover. So, but we do it from a little bit more of a goalie perspective. You can find us at on Twitter at two PADSTACK pod. So 2pad stack pod. And if you want to follow my personal account where I get really deranged and shit about the refs a lot, you can follow me at Ace in 603. That's Ace in New Hampshire. So
Awesome.
Boom. There
Definitely
we
check
go,
them out.
dude.
I appreciate you coming on.
yeah, it was fun, guys. Always good to chat with you. And let me know if you ever need a goalie for Chell.
Oh,
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll definitely do it more too. So it was a long time coming, and we're looking forward to doing more of these with you guys. So
awesome.
Hell
And
yeah.
no, I love the sub tag there underneath your name. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. I don't know.
I think oh shit, I had like when Freddie got traded, I think it was like Rip Freddie featuring Sarah McLachlan or something like that. I always tried
yes.
to-
In the arms of an angel.
Oh my gosh, I love it. We should end it right there. That was perfect. So shout out to everybody for joining us. Marcussi in the beginning, Chris Davis, Drop the Mitts, Robert Chalmers, obviously on there on Twitter at Ivan. The last Ivan is an L, and then Ace, obviously with 2pad stack, joining us here at the end. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for watching with us and hopping in the chat, getting us talking, getting us going, and all that. But if you don't follow any of these guys, make sure you throw them a follow. And I guess we'll see you guys for the next roundtable in April. So shout out to everybody, and thank you very much.
Bye.